excited yesterday, or Friday when we got in, had to go get his Micah Parsons jersey made and all that.
Good choice.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. It was between Jacobs and Parsons, and he made a game-time decision in the pro shop and went Micah Parsons.
Did you steer him that direction, or was that all his choice?
That was his choice. I said, what was it? It was before Tucker Kraft got hurt. I said, let's get a Tucker Kraft jersey. And then he got hurt and he goes, Dad, I think Tucker Kraft got hurt last night. I go, I know, bud.
I saw that, yeah.
I'm like, I know. I got it. So we got up here, and he went with the Micah Parsons jersey. So all good with me.
Good investment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Brian Balaga with us here on Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Bring us into the mind of a player for this one. The way the schedule breaks out is fascinating here the next couple of weeks. 3 divisional matchups in a row, Brian, and obviously it all starts today here at Lambeau at home, where you've lost 2 in a row with the Minnesota Vikings. But, listening to some of the players, Jacobs and Watson and Love talking this week, they're like, yeah, these next 3 games are going to make or break our season. So if you're in that locker room right now, how are we feeling going into this one?
Yeah, I think to say it's going to make or break, that's, I think that's looking a little far down the line, right? Like, I understand where they're coming from because these are huge games. They're in division. You understand kind of the way this division is starting to stack right now, right? Like, you see it. It's very competitive. It's tight. Chicago somehow continues to win games. And you understand you got to keep pace. And that's a tough place to be in when, you're coming back to Lambeau and you've lost 2 straight. You kind of understand the form you've been in as a team as well. We've seen it. They've been a little up and down, hit or miss, and I look at it more so that these division games play out. You don't know how they're going to play out, right? And I always looked at it as, when you play the NFC North teams, you're not looking to play perfect football because, you know each other too well. There's no way you're going to play perfect against teams that know you so well. At this point in time, when you're playing against North opponents, it's like, let's just get wins. They're going to be ugly. We know they're going to be ugly. They know us. We know them. Let's just get the job done and walk out and go to the next one and continue that trend because it's just about keeping pace at this point in this division. It just seems like teams are just going to keep getting wins. And that would be my mentality is just one at a time, get wins. They could be ugly. Hey, today may look great. You don't know, but at the end of the day, the result is the only thing that matters at this point.
Well, that's when it comes to division games. It feels like the fan base the last time, and Steve, you could probably attest to this. I feel like the last time the fan base celebrated a divisional championship was 1995.
Yeah.
Because it was the first one that happened in forever. And
such a big deal.
It was such a big deal when it happened, and now it hasn't happened for a couple of years. Not that the fan base would celebrate that, but one of my favorite things that McCarthy did when he was your coach, he talked about the steps you guys needed to take, and winning the division was one of those steps. Yes, maybe it's not celebrated, but to me, it's the things that go with that. Yep. It's been a couple of years now since we've had a home game at Lambeau, and that's where the emphasis on the division comes in, is, hey, you win these games. Last year they were 1-5 in these games. You win these games, you're going to be playing inside this building come January.
Yeah, and that was always the biggest thing is like the first things first is take care of the division. You win the division, you get one of those first 4 seeds, right? Like that was always McCarthy's biggest thing was win your division games. And if you do that, you set yourself up in a really good place. And this team's they've knocked one off, right? Like they've taken care of business in one with Detroit, which is, I think we all looked at it and didn't really know how that week 1 game was going to go. And they outperformed expectations in week 1, and we've kind of seen this up and down trend. But who cares about that now is the way I look at that, right? Like who cares about the trend? The trend is what it is. When these, like I said, these division games come, let's just continue to knock off division opponents. Like that's the only thing that matters. And I remember our first year with LaFleur, he had all these, goals set out, and his first goal still was win the North. Win the North. So that was his mentality as well. And if I recall, I don't think we lost a division. I don't think we lost
19, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we lost a division game either. So that is his goal as well. So that hasn't been lost on him either. It's just last year was not good.
No, it was not.
You just look at it that way.
It's one way to put it, yeah.
Brian, you know, top of the line offensive line play. You were one of those guys. What does this team's offensive line feel like this year?
Yeah, you know, this has been it's been an interesting year because you bring in Banks, obviously for a lot of money from San Francisco, a lot of expectation there. You kick Elton inside. You don't really know what you're going to get from Elton inside, right? Like, I mean, he's done it before, and I said this when they made the transition. He's done it before, but he hasn't done it as like the starter, as the number one from the beginning, and that's a tough transition to do for any guy to go from guard to center. Like, it just is. There's a lot of responsibility when you become a center. There's certain blocks that are very difficult. Things happen. Like I've always said, when you kick from tackle to guard, things happen very quick. And that's why I couldn't play guard, because I like being out at tackle on an island. I can see things very clearly, and it just suited me better. And then when you kick from guard to center, no, you don't have a guy on you all the time, but things happen very quick, and you're snapping a ball. You're responsible for a lot of different things, like, right, IDing defenses and communicating with the guys up and down, and that's a lot of responsibility, plus then who you have to block. And I don't know, from him missing time and then being hurt in training camp and then kind of going through some injury struggles, and now obviously he's hurt, it just didn't go as well as they, I think, had hoped, right? And that's not like saying Elton can't play at a high level, because I know Elton can play at a high level. Right. Like that has nothing to do with it. It just didn't go as well as they had hoped. And now you see this rotation of guys, right? And it started with the injuries from week one, right? Banks went out week one. Zach Tom went out week one. And now they're mixing and matching. And Jordan Morgan's going from right guard to right tackle to left. So there's been a lot of mixing and matching. And when you have that, it messes with the continuity of guys, right?
Can they settle down at some point and everybody's sort of in the right spot by the end of the season?
They're going to have to, because this is you look at the group they have right now, and if you start getting guys nicked up at this point, now you're getting into pretty thin territory of who you have, right? Like, I mean, the next guy up is Belton, I would guess.
Well, Belton, I would say at guard. Kennard probably at tackle.
Yeah, but
I don't know who's
center?
next up at
no
center.
idea.
I guess it's Jacob Monk.
Probably, but
and see, the wild part about it is, like, when Zach Tom first got hurt, I thought Kennard was going to be the guy that went in.
Right.
But
he was in week one, but then they never went back to him. So, like, I don't understand what the depth chart actually looks like, which I'm not privy to that information. I'm not at practice. I don't know how that goes, but, like, I don't understand the full breakdown of what's going on, right? And they know better than I do, but I'm hoping that this group right now just stays intact, right? Because, like, I think they made a pretty good. I mean, there were mess ups during the Giants game, but that can all be corrected because there was a new center with Sean Ryan, right? Like, that's going to be difficult at times, right? It's his first time doing it. Yeah.
A couple bad snaps, a couple guys cut loose. Okay.
I was going to ask what you made of him last week.
Yeah, like I thought he did. I thought he did a good job, because I think that the Lions front, or not the Lions front, the Giants front's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. And
snapping the ball with Dexter Lawrence right in front of your face.
Easy task, yeah.
Seems like a difficult thing. Again, I haven't done it, so I can't speak to it personally. It just seems like it would be difficult.
It is, and the thing about it, too, is if you've been struggling to run the ball and the responsibility is to pass block a bunch, that's a tough thing, right? Like, if you're running the ball well and hey, we have to make this change at center because of injury, you know, you can ease that in, right? But when it's like, hey, we got to throw the football and we got to break in a new center, and he's got to ID defenses, and now especially this week with Flores' defense and their blitz packages and the way they mug linebackers and move guys around, that's a tough task, right? So Sean Ryan and these guys have to be on it today. But I thought he did well. And I think he's going to get better. As long as these guys stay healthy and stay together, I think they can improve. I do. I think they can improve. It wasn't the group we thought we would have from week one. I understand that. But we got to give them a little grace and time to gel and improve, because, like, they've been so, like, take one out, put one in, and it's been tough, and that's hard to do for an offensive line.
How long do you think that's going to take then? Do you think by the time we get to when they play this, so they've got the 3 divisional games, then they've got a game in Denver, then they have the Bears again. By that second Bears game, Assuming there's no injuries, obviously, because that kind of resets the whole clock.
I'm hoping by that Denver game they feel good about where they're at.
So if we get to that Denver game, either they're showing signs of improvement or it just kind of is what it is.
Yes, I think by the Denver game, you've given them enough snaps together, and they've worked a lot of kinks out, and the communication is good, that they should be in a good spot at that point in time. Because, if you're not feeling good by the time you hit Denver, that's
concerning.
Yes, exactly.
That's a different conversation.
Tough front to face.
Yes, that's a tough front to face if you're not feeling good about it, too. But, I'm not too worried about Denver at this point in time. But you need to, what's that, 4 weeks?
Yep.
So, plus this last Giants, so that's 5 weeks of ball, playing together, communicating, being in meetings, having all that practice time. So, that should be plenty of time to have these guys feel comfortable and being on the same page.
Continuity is key, per Brian Bulaga, who's joining us here on Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Stroff, Steve Scafidi, Gabe Neitzel with you just outside of Lambeau Field. A couple more minutes with you, Brian. Toyotathon is here.
Oh, yeah.
But how about Jordan Love? He looked really good last week once Josh Jacobs went down. Seemed like Matt LaFleur almost put the keys in his hands finally.
Yeah.
Which, no pun intended on the Toyota thing. But he looked really, really good in that second half in that come-from-behind win.
He did. And what I liked about it is that goes out with a shoulder injury or whatever it was.
Which that dude needs to learn how to slide.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's given me, the vibes of Aaron running around and not really care, and then he,
and then
little
he got
reckless.
2 concussions in 2010.
That's what I'm saying. He's giving me those vibes. I'm like, dude, just don't do don't do that.
Seems like it's a lesson you got to learn the hard way. Aaron had to learn it,
that's
unfortunately,
true.
the hard
Good point
way.
by you,
yeah,
Gabe.
And it's like I remember he'd be doing that. Aaron would be doing that. He'd get hit, and we'd pick him like, dude. What? Why? Don't do that. I'd be like, I'm fine. Okay, but don't do that. You don't need to do that. But to me, that shows not just so much leadership from Jordan, right? Coming back out of the locker room, just coming back out of the locker room and getting back under center, right? That takes a lot because you don't know what he's going through and all that. Hey, you could get gun shy with a shoulder hurting and all that, but then to play the way he did shows QB, a lot of QB1 big time, tendencies there, and to me, I thought he played really well. And I think that's kind of the way we need to go a little bit, right? Until we get Jacobs up and going again and healthy. Give this thing to number 10 and kind of let him
run the show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
From a fan's perspective, you mentioned the Flores defense, Packers offense. What should fans be looking for as those two teams match today?
Yeah, it's going to be a chess match. It's going to be a chess match, and it reminds me a lot of when we would play Mike Zimmer and the way Aaron and Mike McCarthy, that is, the way we would go about game planning against Mike Zimmer and that defense and the blitz packages and how we would really have to be very, very keyed in on certain players and certain rotations of safeties and defenses and patterns because Flores is able to disguise things really well. And he's able to show pressure and not bring pressure or show pressure from a certain side and get you to adjust your protections and bring it from an opposite side. And you're sliding one way and then you cut too loose off the other way. And Zimmer used to do that all the time. And the code words and all the different things we would come up with at practice to try to bait them into pressuring us and knowing what they would do, and then they would be countering that in the game, and we'd be changing things mid-game to bait them. It was a complete chess match, and this is kind of what I see now from Flores and LaFleur. That's what you're going to have to do from them is you're going to have to bait them into certain things, and they're going to try to bait Jordan and Sean Ryan and those guys, and that's what this comes down to, and it's Van Ginkel. To me, that's the guy you really have to pay attention to on this Vikings defense. He shows you everything. It used to be for us, it used to be Hendricks and Barr. Those were the guys that you had to pay attention to those guys. They told you, and Harrison Smith, those three told you everything. If you could figure out their movements and patterns and where they were lining up, you could figure out their pressure package. And for me, it's Van Ginkel because they use him everywhere. They'll line him up over the center. He'll play left. He'll play right. He'll play linebacker. But he's the guy. You got to key on him because he is very disruptive. But if they're able to get a good feel for the Vikings, how they're pressuring, what they're showing, you can tear them up a little bit because they'll be exposed over the middle of the field with how they're bringing up linebackers and how they have to drop out fast, and you can catch them over the middle of the field.
You bring good vibes today? They getting a win?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be a close game. Like I think these division games and the way that they've all played each other too, right? I mean, I think you look throughout the division, they've all been good games so far, right? I mean, besides the way we played Detroit in week one,
right? Yeah. That was the only real blowout, right?
That was really it. But besides that, you look at all these other games; they've been good games.
Minnesota went to Detroit and beat the Lions,
yes.
And J.J. McCarthy hasn't been all that spectacular.
Yeah.
But
So these games have all been good. I see like a 21-17 or something.
Sounds about right.
Something like that win from the Packers. I think it'll be close, but I think you just got to kind of give the keys to Jordan Love in this game, man, and let him play. I mean, I think he's the guy right now.
Close, gritty, got it out, just like you are the Wisconsin winter.
Yes.
Brian, appreciate the time, brother. Good to see you.
No problem, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back on Green Bay Game Day, but first, Green and Gold fans, it is game day. Kick off your tailgate with Bacardi. Whether it's a Bacardi and Cola, lime and soda, or spiced in Cola, Bacardi, your game day go-to. Grab a bottle at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum, 40% alcohol by volume. More after this. It's Green Bay Game Day, ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. Or you could also try the new Holiday Stick Sampler Pack featuring Winter Wonderland, Mary Berry, Gingerbread, and Santa's Cinnaberry. It's stick size and a great way to try all the favorite flavors of the season. So go to Kringle.com to order or call them at 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
At Great Midwest Bank, we've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for 90 years. Wait, 2025 minus 1935, 90 years. Wow. In our 90 years as a community bank, we've learned a lot about the values of the people who live and work here and appreciate the loyal customers that have made Great Midwest Bank who we are today. Find a location at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, your back, or your shoulders. It's time with family and friends. But in 2026, that all could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee believe relief doesn't just come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers that long-term relief that you're finally looking for. Make the new year your turning point where pain stops defining you. It's time to take that first step. Literally, time to walk, enjoy the holidays, live without pain, and live without hesitation. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. Schedule your free consultation today at QC Kinetics. Give them a call at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Right now, you can get 40% off your Iron Jock gear. Use code HOLIDAY40. That's HOLIDAY40 for 40% off your order. Shop now at ironjock.com.
The holidays are shining bright at Deer District. Join us November 21st through the 30th for the first ever Deer District Holiday Market, presented by Deer District Bid 53 and produced by Events by Design. From concept to celebration, Events by Design can transform your events to create unforgettable experiences with curated vendors, immersive decor, and seamless flow from start to finish. Shop local, sip seasonal, snap holiday photos, and drop your letter to Santa free to attend. Visit deerdistrict.com/holiday. Shop small, shine bright at the Deer District Holiday Market.
Crisp air, cozy sweaters, and a home that's actually ready for fall. Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Don't let your home be the only thing falling apart this season. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. Exterior Pros and Baths, because your house deserves a little sweater weather too.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal & Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal & Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Yeah, Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. He's Gabe Neitzel, Mr. Worldwide. He is Steve Scafidi, the mayor.
Who was doing some work. I walk in this morning.
How about that?
And this guy's just got the leaf blower going to make sure that the Tundra Trio backyard for all our guests today
good, doesn't
just looks immaculate in late November.
I walked in and I saw a man leaf blowing, and I said, "Oh wow, they
hired a guy.
They came late. You know, like people are about to start showing up."
Wait a second.
And then I looked. And it was Steve Scafidi, and I was like, okay, he must just be bored.
So I went from my deer blind yesterday to Packers today. This is a weekend for anybody.
It's as Wisconsin as it gets.
I saw some does. I've shot enough does. I looked for I didn't see any bucks yesterday, but a lot of success in and around our camp. So it was perfect weather for hunting. So it's my favorite weekend of the year.
How was the food?
But you had to miss out on today because you got to come to Lambeau. Big game for the Packers today.
This is a huge game.
It is a huge game.
I've said for years, because we've destroyed the Bears in the last few decades. This is the rivalry game that I care about. I don't like Minnesota.
I don't either.
My daughters live in Illinois. I'm okay with the state. I don't like the team, but I hate Minnesota. I worked there for a long time. Don't like the people. I don't like the rubes, as Paul Allen likes to say. I don't like any of it.
Sure.
So I want them always to destroy the Vikings, and I want Paul Allen to be sad. That's my goal.
That's fair.
Paul Allen.
I think that's fair.
Play-by-play guy for the Vikings.
No, that's fair. I
like
can appreciate that.
Yeah. I want Paul Allen.
I want him to cry. I want him to sob tears of.
And he does that. He's a very emotional man.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Jacobs. Should he play or should he not?
My guess is that he's not going to play. And I know they elevated a running back off the practice squad. Last time they did that, Jacobs played through his illness in Arizona and arguably had his greatest game of the year. But the fact that even somebody as tough as Jacobs, who everyone, Adam Stenovich, Jacobs, LaFleur, everybody's talking about, this dude's tough. And when he says, hey, I got to come out, it's serious because of what he plays through and his threshold for pain. But when Jacobs is even floating the idea to me earlier this week of, if I miss this game, then I know I'm going to be playing in Detroit. That's what makes me think that eventually the team is going to talk him into that, and he's going to see the reasoning of, it's better that I know I'm going to be healthy for that game on Thanksgiving, and I'm good for the final 6 games of the season, instead of playing today and running the risk of having it linger for some of these important divisional
games. Could they wait until the Bears game on the 7th?
I don't think so. Not with Jacobs.
Take your chances with the backups?
I don't think they hold him out another one because it's not like he's. It's not like it's a sprain or anything that it could get re-aggravated, I guess. But
it's more about swelling and just kind of range of motion for him right now, but based on the way he talked. If he misses today, Steve, there's no chance he's missing Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
like he is because that's the carrot of, hey, you don't play now, but then on Thanksgiving you're good to go.
Bingo.
And you would not be able to. There's no way you'd be able to convince him to miss. A second consecutive game was something that's not structurally damaged.
The thing I thought was interesting, though, is the announcement last night through one of the NFL Network reporters, either Pelissero or Garofolo, was he is going to go through pregame warm-ups and then make a decision.
Yeah, well, not pregame warm-up, but they'll work him out the way that they work out players that are truly game-time decisions. And I know a lot of times questionable gets kind of conflated with that, but they've done that with a number of different players this year where they've kind of gone through the pregame workout and then they make that decision based on how it feels. So I think that's what we're going to be looking at today, for him, that he's going to go through that every step of the way. LaFleur, Jacobs, they've said he's truly a game-time decision.
And he is. I understand that. But I don't get the feeling that he's going to make or break a win today. And maybe that's me counting my eggs before they hatch. Or my chickens before they hatch, I think is the statement I'm looking for.
Yes, that would be chickens before they hatch.
Thank you, Gabe.
The eggs are the things that do the hatching. The eggs don't hatch themselves.
Science class here, the trio.
Obviously, somebody pays attention.
We just have a dumbass on the panel, and that dumbass happens to be me. I would just say this, though, Gabe, because I love Josh Jacobs, right? He's obviously so integral to what this offense does. He was huge last season. This year, not as great as he was a year ago, but still a huge part of what Matt LaFleur wants to do every game. I don't get the feeling that this is a game where if Jacobs is not there, oh my goodness, that Minnesota wins by 3 touchdowns.
And I think that has more to say about the way Matt LaFleur's handled things this year. I think that says more to say about some of the conversations we were just having with Brian Balaga about the offensive line.
Big time.
Because he is getting hit behind the line of scrimmage more than any running back this season. The yards after contact are the highest across, because that's why he's been struggling this year. He doesn't have any room to operate because they haven't been able to get into flow with their running game, and it's something that I've brought up starting last week, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more when Jason Wilde's here, because he seemed to bring up the conversation him and I had on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy a couple of weeks ago with just about everybody this week. It seems like Matt LaFleur has struggled marrying the things that Josh Jacobs likes to do, running out of the shotgun, the combo blocking that he likes to see, with the stuff that he and Jordan Love like to do, being under center. And we saw last week for the first time, and it wasn't to a tight end. It was, I think it was Christian Watson in the flat, but then it was Romeo Doubs who ended up making the catch, kind of coming behind him as they had drag routes at 3 different levels on a play-action boot play from Jordan Love last week. We actually saw that play twice. We saw it from Malik Willis on the touchdown, where he found Christian Watson in that drive that Malik played, and then we saw it later in the game where Love was actually going to go under center, boot action with Emmanuel Wilson. So I am really curious, if Josh Jacobs does not play today, how much they actually run out of shotgun. Because they run a lot more out of shotgun when Josh Jacobs is in there, and that's just harder to run play action out of. Chewy's talked about it all the time. When you're in the shotgun, you take the ball, and it's easier for those linebackers because you have the ball in front of you. You're showing the football. Versus you're stretching. Yeah, they see the football, but they're not sure if you handed it off or not, because you can kind of shade it with your body as you start rolling out and into your play action. So it's just another layer of this offense that they can add. And if they have success, if Josh Jacobs does not play today, and they have success throwing the ball once again, using that play action that they haven't used, I think they have to start going to Josh and going, hey, man, we know you like to run out of shotgun.
Yeah, but come on.
But we got to, and we're still going to give you a couple of shotgun runs. Because Emmanuel Wilson last week still had a couple of shotgun runs. You still want to have that in there. We just can't run it out of shotgun nearly as much as you want us to. And you've got to get more accustomed to the way our offensive line can block this up, the way that our quarterback wants to play out of this, and kind of fit into the system more.
But you have to
trying
imagine,
to fit the system around Josh Jacobs.
I agree with the point, but you have to imagine them running out of shotgun so much is not only a Josh Jacobs thing. It's a...
Oh, I think it's pretty purely a Josh Jacobs thing.
You don't think it has anything to do with the offensive line?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
No.
Come on.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the offensive line, because they ran out of shotgun a lot last year as well.
But it worked.
But it did work, because their offensive line was better last year.
Yes, it was.
But I think it's just one of those things where, and again, running out of shotgun, that's not something that Aaron Banks came in here in San Francisco. No, they ran a similar system where they're under center a lot, and they're doing a lot of the stretch zone, stretch read plays for the running backs. So the timing is different for an offensive line when you're trying to run out of shotgun versus running under center. The timing of how you're opening up the holes and everything else works. So I think that they should be running under center a little bit more. And if Josh Jacobs does not play today, I guarantee you they're going to be under center more than if Josh Jacobs was in the game.
This is that time of year you got to run the ball.
You do.
Who's going to run it?
You do. And honestly, with last week, we're not going to, I don't think, have the windiness that they faced last week in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. But I mean, it's cold, right? Like, it's cold and it's tougher to throw the ball, and you start getting those breezy days. It depends, like we saw against Carolina, kind of depends upon the way you're going here at Lambeau Field, if you can push the ball down the field the way you want to be able to. So running the football, whether Josh Jacobs is in the game, is still going to be paramount. It's something that this team still has to do at a high level, even if they are cutting Jordan Love loose and running the offense more through him.
2 straight stinkers at home, so we need something different today.
What were the crowds like for those games?
Uneasy, upset.
Good crowd for the Eagles game, though.
They were loud. I mean,
I had these great seats. Some guy named Steve sold them to me. Yeah, they were great.
But when you have the head coach once again, I was so hoping we were past this, but when you put up the 2 stinkers the way that you do, when the head coach is coming to the podium and pleading fans, don't sell your tickets to Vikings fans.
I think he got too bad of a rap this week for that. He was just making a joke.
You know the Deer Camp message for Matt LaFleur all weekend, just coach the team and don't worry about the rest of the stuff. That's the message.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't love when he does that because he seems to do it just about every home game. But this week of all weeks, like, he was kind of just making a joke. He was laughing about it, and everybody got upset about it.
Well, here's the thing today. You're going to be able to tell who's the Vikings fans. Well, there's a lot of purple already.
And I was going to say, it's like it's been for a lot of home games during the last few years where there is a lot of the other color represented here at Lambeau Field.
But again, when you play poorly the way you have, if they had played at home as well as they did the first 2 weeks and they kept that momentum rolling, less people are going to sell their tickets because they don't want to miss the game.
Yeah.
Hey, this is something, when you play the way that you did against Carolina, against Philadelphia, fans are, okay, I don't have to be at every one. I know you don't operate like that, Steve.
I don't like it.
Because the only time the only time you're not here, you're literally out of the country.
which will be the case in a few weeks.
Yeah, in a few weeks I'll be in Mexico.
Exactly.
So I won't call
That is literally the only time you have to leave the country.
Right.
If you're anywhere within the continental United States, I have a feeling you're going to find a way to get back in time.
And if I had a private jet, I would fly back for the game, for the Tundra Trio, and then fly back to
I know you would.
Former mayors don't make that much money?
No.
You're not PJ flying?
No.
All right, we got to get to our buddy Rob Domofsky here on Green Bay Game Day, but first, the new Piggly Wiggly Pig Points Program. Say that 5 times fast. Is here. Piggly Wiggly Pig Points Program. Now you'll earn 10 pig points for every $1 you spend and redeem those points on your favorite products right in the store. It's simple, it's rewarding, and it's all right here at your neighborhood Piggly Wiggly. Sign up today at shopthepig.com. Piggly Wiggly. Shop the pig and save. Rob Domofsky coming up next right here on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away. With on-site x-rays and expert care, Ortho ASAP gets you back on track faster. Open 7 days a week with locations in Brookfield and Pewaukee, it's more affordable than the ER. Walk in, get treated, and get back to life. Ortho ASAP. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Shop the pig! Thanksgiving's coming, and Piggly Wiggly's got everything you need to feed a family of 10 for less than $40. That's right, your holiday meal for 10, all for under $40, including Jenny-O turkeys for just 39 cents a pound. And while you're here, don't forget to sign up for the new Pig Points Rewards program, where the more you shop, the more you earn, and the more you save. So make this Thanksgiving easy, affordable, and delicious at your local Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or
your big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
You're going to be happy, happy, happy.
and with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
Or a better diamond.
Or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. It's hard to believe the holidays are almost here. We want to say thank you to our clients we helped in 2025. You are why we love what we do. Our why is simple: to make a real difference for people who feel stuck, frustrated, or ignored, and give them the tools they need to succeed. We helped Cheryl clean up 2 years of QuickBooks so her business could see a path to a bright future when she now had good financial information in her hands. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties plus another $152,000 in taxes because we know the tax law. Imagine the stress lifted off your shoulders after you talk with us. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see if we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Ten minutes later than usual, but here we go. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strofe. That is the man, Mr. Worldwide, Gabe Neitzel. That is the mayor, Steve Scafidi. And joining us now from inside of Lambeau Field is ESPN NFL Nation reporter, the bold, the beautiful, the great Rob Domofsky joins us now on Green Bay Game Day. Rob, first off, apologies. We're running a little behind. You can blame Brian Bulaga, who's joining us here in person, or was joining us here in person for that one. That's our fault.
It's always the offensive lineman's fault.
That's true. That's a good point by you. Let's actually start there because we were talking plenty about that with Brian when he joined us a bit earlier. But the lack of continuity has not helped with this offensive line. And now Josh Jacobs goes down. What should we expect out of that group going forward now with Sean Ryan at center and some guys in, some guys out? It's just been a mess all year.
Yeah, well, at least they have the same group this week that they did last week, right? I mean, that's a positive. And last week they got through the game with the same group, except Zach Tom came out for, I think, 3 plays. And, obviously the snaps from Sean Ryan were, obvious mistakes. But other than that, he played pretty well, and they played a little bit better as a unit. I think it can only help them, Alex, if they just keep playing together, right? I mean, even if they have some deficiencies and have some limitations, and maybe they don't necessarily have the best pieces right now, at least if they can get some continuity and stay together and play game after game as a unit, maybe that will help a little bit.
Hey, Rob, I've been at the last 2 home games, and the offense, staying on that theme, has been absolutely horrific at home.
Yeah.
And here we are again. This is a very, very important game playing in division. Vikings, obviously that big rivalry. What has Matt LaFleur said about how this team has performed, just generally on offense, but at home they've been absolutely horrible?
Yeah, we haven't. It's a good question, Steve, but we haven't really talked about the home stuff. We haven't asked them that. I do know that they've lost 2 in a row at home, obviously, and they haven't scored much in either one, 13-7, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't lost 3 in a row at home since 2017. They haven't lost 3 in a row to the Vikings in this series since Favre in 08-09. Well, Favre was the 09 portion of it with Minnesota. So, I mean, there's some things that they've got to buck some trends here. And I do think, I don't know if struggling on offense has anything to do with where you're playing or home or on the road. I mean, they struggled at times last week in New York until they didn't, and then put up their magic 27, which seems to be the number they need to win games. I just think what they're looking for today is a little bit cleaner game, obviously cleaning up some of the drops, and whoever's at running back, whether it's Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson, or any of the other guys, just some consistent production there. I do think Emmanuel Wilson has run pretty well this year, and people forget last year, Emmanuel Wilson ran for like 502 yards. There were years where the Packers' leading rusher had 502 yards for a season, and he was their backup to Josh Jacobs. I mean, that was a stretch where they kept getting running backs hurt in the mid-2000s before they brought Ryan Grant in, where you go look at it, like their leading rusher was like maybe 550 or 600 yards in some of those years. So Emmanuel Wilson he's not nobody. He's a guy that's shown he can do it. Now, at times during his career, he's been banged up after he's shown he can do it. So if he's going to be the number one guy today, he'd like to think that he can get through a game and through a stretch of games and be productive. But, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It's not total disaster if Josh Jacobs doesn't play today.
Have you seen Jacobs work out on the field yet? Have they brought him out to try to take him through the tests to see if he can go?
No, nobody out there yet, Gabe. And honestly, at home games, I think a lot of this stuff happens in their indoor facility in the stadium, which we don't have access to. We see it all the time on the road, right, when they're doing pregame workouts. Yeah. And it's usually right about now. It seems like when I come on with you guys on road games, it's usually about now that somebody's either going out or is actually doing the workout. But as of right before I answered the phone, there was nobody out there yet. I imagine they do it in that, they call it the CRIC. I think it stands for Conditioning Rehab something or in something center.
Very Wisconsin to call it the CRIC.
Yeah. Yeah. CRIC. CRIC is what it is. I don't know what all the letters stand for, but my guess is they're doing that in there. I doubt they're going across the street through the parking lot in the Hudson Center amongst them. That would be pretty. That would be pretty awesome, right? If Josh Jacobs and the trainers just walk the parking lot.
Well, we're right there,
yeah.
Rob. Right? Like, so if we see him running past us, you'll be our first text. All right, we'll let you know. We'll keep an eye out. You keep an eye in the stadium. We'll keep an eye out.
Oh, you keep an eye on the CRIC there, bud.
Yeah, that's the way they go down to practices. You guys right past the Tundra Trio there. So
right past the trio there, bud.
All right, Rob. So I'm looking at Jordan Love, and he was awesome last week.
He was.
You're looking at him? He's out there in the parking lot too.
No.
Well, there's a lot of guys wearing his jersey.
Yeah,
so
figuratively, I wonder if he's got to have time against a Brian Flores defense to be able to do what Jordan Love can do so well. That's the biggest fear. Can they figure out some way to give him time? More shotgun, less shotgun? I don't know what it is, but some block better. What's the strategy?
Play action. Play action's got to be the recipe, and they got back to it finally last week. Last week was their second highest play action rate of the season after having 2 weeks of really low play action stuff. And I think Brian Flores' defense is about stimulated pressures, not unlike what Jeff Hafley does, where he wants to think one thing's happening and something else happens. And the way to slow that down is to start with a successful running game and then use play fakes off of it. So. I think if they can do that, then they got a good chance to be successful against this unit. But it's a strong group, and it's a really good defensive coordinator, maybe one of the best in the game. And that's where this game, Steve, could be decided is how they handle and how Jordan Love handles it, and how maybe more importantly, Matt LaFleur calls plays against it to try to get them into better situations.
Rob, I know you're a guy, at least I think so. Maybe I'm projecting here a little bit because you put out the snap counts for people to see, typically Mondays after games, and I've been a big snap count guy because it tells you how coaches feel about a player. If the snap count's high, because that's so when we found out that Kingsley Enagbare played a snap more than Rashan Gary, and then that was brought to the attention of the head coach, and LaFleur responded with, well, Rashan's not a big snap count guy anyway. What went through your mind?
Yeah, the minute, Gabe, that you mentioned snap count, I knew a Rashan Gary question was coming. And I asked the Rashan Gary question of Matt LaFleur, he's never been a high volume snap count guy. And you know what? That statement in and of itself is not inaccurate. It's just crazy. that you're paying this guy that money for a guy who's maybe a 2/3 at most player. And I don't even think, over his career, 60% of the snaps. And
I love this stupid team, man.
For his career, Rob, because I went back and I looked, Rob, and for his career, he's about a 2 out every 3 snaps. Yeah, it's around 66% for his career.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because he's 3 times he's played 80% or more. Micah Parsons has done that each of the last 3 games for the Packers.
Right. Yeah, no, it's bad. I have no explanation for it other than to tell you that that's what the coach said, and he's never been a high-volume guy. And then I guess my question would be for somebody else in the building, most notably the general manager. Why did you pay a guy that kind of money for someone who is barely a 2/3 snap guy? That one, I do think, Rashan Gary's been disappointing from the sense of everyone thought that Micah Parsons' arrival would open up all this stuff for him, and it sort of did, or at least he took advantage of it the first month or so. But since then, it's been a big nothing burger, as Aaron Rodgers would say.
There's a couple just outside the Tundra Trio here wearing a Micah Parsons. He's wearing a Micah Parsons. She's wearing a Rashan Gary jersey.
There we go.
I didn't know any Rashan Gary jerseys were sold. I guess that's neither here nor there.
She might have to get a new jersey next year.
Well, on that note, Rob, it sounds like Lucas Van Ness will be back today.
It's what it sounded like on Friday, assuming Matt LaFleur is not as dumb as people think he is. He has strategically changed his press conferences on Fridays and really every day to before practice, so that way he doesn't have to tell us definitively on after practice Friday how somebody looked. But going into the Friday practice, the plan, according to LaFleur and others, was that yes, assuming that Lucas Van Ness got through that workout, that he would have a pretty good chance to return this week. It's been longer than they thought. I mean, they didn't put him on IR because they thought he'd be back in 3 games or less. And obviously he's missed, I think, was it 5 or maybe even 6. So the injury took longer than they thought. And okay, when he comes back, Micah Parsons said this week, he's like, don't rush him back. We need him back at full go. But no one's ever seemed like they're full go when they come back the first week. So maybe this is just a 20-snap run, and he gets to go more on Thursday against the Lions. But I guess we'll see.
Rob, is Matt LaFleur a tough guy, a nice guy, or both?
Well, that's a really good question.
Look at you, Steve.
Woo! Boy. I don't, tough guy, no. I would not say tough guy. But I'm not so sure he's a nice guy either. I think he's a guy who, I think he's a reactionary guy, I guess I would say. Reacts in the moment. I will say with us, you never know which guy is going to walk into the press conference room. Sometimes he's got no patience or no use for us, and other times he's really engaging. I would say this year he's been more on the engaging side, but I wonder if that's just because with us he's trying to maybe curry a little favor because he knows there's some pressure on him. That I don't know, but behind the scenes and on the practice field, no, this is not Mount Holmgren waiting to erupt. On the practice field from what I've seen.
Rob, are you a tough guy or a nice guy?
I'm weak, man. I am so mentally weak, so I definitely am not mentally tough. I can tell you that.
I don't know about that. Me too, brother. No judgment here.
Yeah, so I mean, 1 double bogey becomes 3 double bogeys because of my lack of mental toughness.
Rob's definitely a nice guy. I'll give him that.
Rob, before we let you go, this is game 1 of 3 in a row in Division for Green Bay. You think they get started on the right foot with or without their star running back?
I think they win 2 of these 3 games, and I think that if they do, I think they're in good shape for this division and the playoffs. If they don't, they could be in trouble. So I do think they win. I assume today is one of them, and then they get one of the next 2.
Nice guy, Rob Domofsky. Always great catching up with you, buddy. We'll be listening to you this week across ESPN Wisconsin and reading you over at ESPN.com. Thanks, Rob.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
The great Rob Domofsky, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, covering the Green Bay Packers. Packers. He is Gabe Neitzel. He is Steve Scafidi. I'm Alex Strofe with you. It's Green Bay Game Day, brought to you in part by our friends at Dr. Pepper. Win tickets to see Green Bay host Chicago coming up on my birthday. It's my birthday party. Ooh. December 7th. Steve's leaving for Mexico. Including access to right here, the Tundra Trio's upscale tailgate with gourmet food and premium drinks. Come to my birthday party. Thanks to Dr. Pepper. Enter it now. ESPNWisconsin.com. You'll win tickets. You'll be able to come hang out at my birthday party here at the Tundra Trio. Can I dub it that? Can I call it that? It's my birthday party?
You just did, so
okay,
I don't know why you're asking permission.
It's already
now.
branded.
Yeah. I guess I'm asking permission after the fact.
Yeah.
Ask for forgiveness rather than permission. Dr. Pepper, nothing hits like the bold flavor of Dr. Pepper. Grab one ice cold at Homer's favorite place, McDonald's, and enter to win tickets to see Green Bay Chicago on December 7th. My birthday. Come to my birthday party. ESPNWisconsin.com is your place to enter for free for that. Again, ESPNWisconsin.com. I need a hero. Coming up next, it's Green Bay Game Day, ESPN Wisconsin, 620 WTMJ.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Welcome to Jackpot Land, this fall at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all fall to win your share of thousands in prizes each month and earn entries into the big December Jackpot Land prize drawings. Your October, November, and December entries all count. Win thousands in cash or reward play. Welcome to Jackpot Land, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only, and you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Your path to a degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Lakeland University, you can personalize every part of your college experience. With a main campus in Sheboygan, evening classes across the state, and flexible online options, you choose how and when you learn. Just graduated high school, changing careers, juggling work and life, they've got options for you. You can even earn credit for experience you already have or for the work you're doing now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Thanksgiving is almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Thanksgiving dinner can turn your meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st and Oklahoma in Milwaukee and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again!
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Discount liquor.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Score the top gifts for the Brewers fan in your life this holiday season. Set them up for an epic 2026 season with the all-new Brewers Holiday Bundle featuring 4 ticket vouchers, loaded value concession credits, and an exclusive Brewers Holiday ornament starting at just $99. Finish shopping for even the youngest Brewers fans with the 2026 Kids Crew Kit, including one-of-a-kind Brewers merch, 6 ticket vouchers, a ballpark tour, and more, all for just $35. Grab every Brewers Holiday gift today at Brewers.com.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Yeah, it's Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strofe alongside Mr. Worldwide, Gabe Neitzel, the mayor, Steve Scafidi. Just outside of Lambeau Field, we were at the beautiful Tundra Trio. Bucket Honey's food is everywhere. V Private Bar Services is mixing up the Bloody Marys on the Sunday morning.
I'm watching 4 guys stuff their faces with that great food, so I'm jealous.
Including the sculpted Greg Matzik.
Oh,
his diet's off this weekend. That's very obvious.
The Adonis.
As he drinks his Bloody Mary, eats his egg bite from Bucket Honey's. Very good. All right, fellas, time now for I Need a Hero, which is presented by Network Health. Network Health, honored to serve many veteran members, and they're also proud to count veterans among their employees because they are based right here in Wisconsin. They are able to develop health plans specifically with their veterans in mind. Network Health. I Need a Hero is very simple, guys. We play it every week. You're going to tell me who the hero the Packers need today to step up in order to beat the Minnesota Vikings in their first of 3 in a row divisional matchups. Gabe Neitzel, we start with you.
I'm going with Keyshawn Nixon today. I think they're going to have some opportunities, maybe not as many as they had against Jameis last week. Had 5 opportunities, only came away with the 1 interception. But J.J. McCarthy will give you chances. You have to catch them. You have to take advantage of those opportunities. And I think Keyshawn Nixon is going to answer the call. He's going to have a big interception today for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, 9. His alter ego. Really likes throwing interceptions. He's got 9 turnovers on the year. I believe 8 of those interceptions.
Well, but 9 only comes out in the 4th quarter, I think, because that was kind of what the question was based around. We can talk more about.
He's a dork.
Referring to
He's
yourself.
a dork, right?
Well, no. It's fine if you want to do. So when I think of somebody referring to themselves in the third person, like as an alter ego,
sure.
Who's the first person you think of? I think of T. Plush.
Oh, sure.
I think of Nigel Morgan. I think T. Plush, but T. Plush backed it up.
Yes,
like T. Plush batted .308. T. Plush had a walk-off hit in the postseason.
Okay,
9.
Now you got me thinking over here. Does Gabe Neitzel have like a golf alter ego?
I don't know. Do you?
No, I would never refer to myself in the third person.
No?
Unless I'm like joking around.
My third person is the Stever. That's my other identity.
Oh,
Stever. Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the Stever.
Well, first of all, a lot of alcohol. And he goes in a lot of different ways that I typically don't go when I'm normal Steve.
Sure.
Yeah, so he's a bit out there.
Was the Stever out at the deer camp this weekend?
No.
Okay.
No. That was all business. That's hunting. That's serious business.
Yeah, that's what all the hunters say. Serious business.
All right, mine is, I'm going a different way. Emmanuel Wilson. If Jacob doesn't play, he's got to be the guy, and I think he can do it. Obviously, he's got speed. He's certainly shown ability to kind of get out of the jams and get some yards. They need that today. They got to have that. The rest of the offense to work, they got to have him on board.
Mine's going to be pretty simple. I need a hero. I need a number 1 receiver. I need a Christian Watson touchdown or 2, just like we saw last week against the New York Giants. Gabe, we talked about this Friday on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The wide receiver debacle is probably the right way to describe it for the last several years. Has been interesting to watch, to say the least. But it finally seems like there's some consistency in a high-end pass catcher. You had it earlier in the year with Tucker Kraft before he tore his ACL and now obviously out for the season. But since Christian Watson has returned from his torn ACL, it seems like he is the go-to guy for this Packers offense, and that needs to continue today against this Brian Flores defense that Steve has talked plenty about.
For the last 2 years, we've been waiting for someone to emerge out of that wide receiver room. Okay, who's going to earn those reps? Who's going to step up and show, hey, here's what the hierarchy is? And I would argue that the only receiver we've seen real growth out of, and I'm casting Savion Williams and Matthew Golden as rookies this year aside, I'm talking about the guys that were returning from last year's team, is Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Romeo seems largely the same. I'm not sure if Jaden Reed has grown, because his big knock was, can he beat man-to-man coverage? That was something he struggled with. Unfortunately, he had the injury. Dontavian Wicks hasn't grown. Christian Watson, we've seen him make those plays that when he was a first, second-year player, we were begging him to make. Can you imagine Christian Watson for the first 2 years making the play that he did to win the game against the Giants? That catch, back shoulder, high-pointing it, in traffic. That's what you want to see out of a guy that size.
I love that comment about Christian Watson. He put in the hard work to get back here. He showed it last week.
Yep.
He wants to be a star. He wants to be the guy. Let's let him be that guy.
I was really hoping somebody would give me a Chris Brooks pop in this segment.
Right.
Chris Brooks is my guy, as Gabe knows. I think we're going to see him quite a bit today because he's so good in pass blocking situations. And the Vikings like to blitz the quarterback a little bit. So I would like to see some Chris Brooks, and it might just be from a blocking capacity. It could be from a running capacity if Josh Jacobs is not a go today. All right, coming up next is who, Steve?
The genius.
The genius.
Yep.
Jason Wilding is on time. He is here.
He was here.
Fresh haircut and all.
Oh, he looks good.
The Jason Wilding Hour of
Better
Green Bay
haircut than
Game
you
Day.
got this week.
Yeah, oh, well, don't talk to me about haircuts. Jason Wilding joins us coming up next for the Jason Wilding Hour. It's Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
This season, give gifts that are always a win. Island Resort and Casino gift cards, gaming and dining, poolside fun and overnight stays. Gift cards unlock endless island adventures, like championship golf rounds on Sweetgrass and Sage Run, a blissful escape to the Drift Spa, and an unforgettable evening in the Island Showroom. To buy Island Resort and Casino gift cards, stop by the Island Club or call 877-ISL-SHOW now.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' tastes. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
It's finally here. The ultimate automotive Black Friday event starts now at Cunis. Get ready for door-busting deals that'll blow you away. Come early on Black Friday, November 28th, and score the deal of a lifetime. A $99 doorbuster vehicle. That's right, $99. Or drive off an incredible savings with select vehicles priced at $499 and $999. But the deals don't stop there, because all month long, every Milwaukee Metro Cunis dealership is slashing prices on new vehicles from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, along with an unbeatable selection of quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. All makes, all models, all on sale. Trade in your ride and cash in on huge event savings at nearby Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and Hope Chevrolet. The legendary Cunis Black Friday event only happens once a year, and when it's gone, it's gone. Get event updates and see inventory at CunisBlackFriday.com. Prices do not include tax, title, license, registration, and $499 Wisconsin dealer service fee.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's early Black Friday deals have arrived, in-store and online while supplies last. Right now, shop early Black Friday-like savings store-wide on the things you need and the brands you love. Like 2-pound bags of Blaine's brand whole cashews or deluxe mixed nuts, just $10.99 each. Select boxes of Winchester 9mm ammo, only $12.99. Rewards members save an extra $1. And women's Alfred Dunner apparel is half price. Don't miss early Black Friday deals in-store and online only at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into the Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's finally game day.
6, good protection, pass wide open, making the catch and getting into Washington territory. Tucker Kraft pulls his way down to the 20-yard line.
And the countdown to kickoff starts now.
What's the fake? Pass caught, touchdown, Green Bay Romeo Dobbs.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Broadcasting live from the shadow of the south end zone at Lambeau Field. Alongside Gabe Neitzel and 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde. Here's Alex Strofe.
Here we go. Hour 2, Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. We are live at the Tundra Trio just outside of Lambeau Field. It is Packers-Vikings here, Week 12 of the NFL season. I'm Alex Strofe. He is the mayor, Steve Scafidi, hanging out with us for about 15 more minutes. He is Mr. Worldwide, Gabe Neitzel. You hear him later on ESPN Radio's, is it Game Day? Game
Prime
night?
time.
Prime time.
Oh, there you go.
Gabe Night.
Gabe Night. Oh.
Some branding opportunity.
And he clearly is worthy of those 3 Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year awards he's won. From Channel3000.com, from Wilde and Tausch, from the very popular weekly Wilde program, it is the great Jason Wilde joining us now on Green Bay Game Day. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Everybody likes that weekly Wilde because of the host, though. I think that's really the key.
Yeah, the host, Jason Wilde. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm the guest. You're the host.
If your name's on the show, I don't know if you can be a guest.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Just
literally named after you.
You can't take the reservation and then not hold the reservation. By the way, did anybody see Tausch?
Yeah, I saw
Tausch. Is he wearing
Gore-Tex?
George Costanza's jacket from the liquor store?
Where is Tausch?
I saw him go in over there, so I need to do somebody get a photo, and then we need to side by side it with
Gabe.
George Costanza.
It makes me feel so much better that other people are getting the Costanza jokes this time because I wore a different coat today than I did against for the Eagles game when I was wearing my Costanza jacket.
Had you worn that jacket, you and Tausch could have taken a picture side by side.
Twinsies. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
They're so puffy. I don't know if we'd be able to get both of them in the picture.
Wide
the
angle.
jackets are so
wide angle.
Jackets are so.
All right, enough of this crap, Jason. Did you talk to Josh Jacobs this week?
I did. I don't think the news that he's not playing today is shocking at all.
I must have missed that in the commercial break.
He's not playing.
Not shocking.
No, I mean, look, the conversation that I think it was me and 2 other people had with him was, look, he said the worst-case scenario would be he doesn't play today and then he plays on Thursday, to which I said, actually, isn't the worst-case scenario you play today
and don't play
you
Thursday.
Aggravate your knee, and not only do you not play Thursday, you also miss time the following week against the Bears. And so, he is such a I think him and Aaron Rodgers are both probably feeling the same way today, right? Because Mike Tomlin has said, look, I know you want to play with a broken left wrist, but we're not going to let you do that either. You hear coaches talk about how you have to sometimes protect guys from themselves.
That's honestly surprising in the Tomlin thing, because if Rodgers can talk Doc McKenzie into letting him play,
I was stunned.
I just assumed he could talk anybody into letting him play.
Yeah, apparently, and I'd be curious because we know how relationships have been known to go with the quarterback. I'm curious if he's appreciative. I'm assuming publicly he will say he appreciates that and everything else, but I don't know what that does for the deed to Soldier Field, because they're in Chicago today,
Yes,
right? So I'm sure that's on top of everything else killing him not to be able to play.
All right, Jason. So it's another home game. I've been in the last 2 and watched the Packers offense.
Yeah, how's that gone for you?
I said last time it hurt my feelings to watch that game, and I was disgusted with it. Matt LaFleur is not on my high list right now for guys.
He's not getting a Christmas card?
He's not getting a Christmas card. He's not getting any positive feedback from me. I want him to be a better coach. And he's a great coach in the regular season. We all know that. He's one of the most successful coaches of all time. In the regular season, he's okay in the playoffs. But home field matters to me as a fan. He has not been a steward of home field in the last few home games. I don't like it. What do we do about it?
I appreciate you making your opinion very clear.
That's more a comment than a question.
I think this is the most ridiculous thing ever. I think it's ridiculous that people are trying to get him fired. I think it's ridiculous.
I don't want him fired.
Now, I'm not saying you are, but there are people that think that they would be better off without him. I'm sorry. When you think you have your key piece of your offense and you lose him, it is hard to figure out how you want to run your offense thereafter. And this idea, of course he stands up there every week and says, well, we've got a bunch of different weapons. We want to get them all involved. But he said, remember after Pittsburgh what he said. It was a crystallizing moment of him being honest and letting down his guard a little bit when he was talking about the offense. Someone asked him, I think it was Pete Doherty from the Press-Gazette, asked him, can you build your offense around a tight end given the way Tucker is playing? And what did he say? We'd be crazy not to. So here he's now ramping up to say, all right, we need to change this offense. Tucker Kraft is special. And then he suffers the injury in literally the next game, right? Or was it 2 games later?
The next half.
Right. And so this, I understand your frustration, Steve. I understand that you pay good money for your tickets. But this idea that Carolina, unbelievably bad loss. They lose 10-7 to the defending Super Bowl champs, and we're all pissed off and we're frustrated with him. I'm sorry, I can't get on board with that. Does he need to be better? Absolutely. Now he's figuring out, and look, I don't think it was Matt LaFleur's call to move Elton Jenkins to center and sign Aaron Banks, but now he's trying to figure out his offensive line again. And Sean Ryan, who I think is a serviceable center, but do we really think he's going to be an improvement over if you'd have brought back Josh Myers on a cheap contract?
Great point.
There's a lot of moving pieces for that offense, and to look at him and say suddenly now this guy sucks or he doesn't know what he's doing offensively, I just find that to be completely out of line.
I think that's a good point by you. Jason will do with us here on Green Bay Game Day.
And Matt LaFleur, you can Venmo me my payment.
Checks in the mail?
I don't have any I don't have some sort of blind loyalty for Matt LaFleur. I just think the intensity of the negativity about a guy who, if the Packers win today and the Steelers without Aaron Rodgers go into Chicago and
Which I'm
win,
bummed about.
I'm also really bummed about that.
At the Bears.
Totally agree, right? But if they win without Rodgers, we're talking about a coach whose team is in first place in the division and whose team would be 2-0 in division games after last year, deserving all the criticism he got for going 1-5 in the division. So I'm not here to boost Matt LaFleur up. That's not my job.
So I guess the point you're making, just to make sure I have it correct, is Packers fans are spoiled and overreacting?
No, I never said any of those things. What I would say is that look around the league and look at how many inept coaches there are. And I'm not saying it's not also this whataboutism of, well, it could always be worse. No, I get it. But this narrative that this guy should be on an intensely hot seat at 6-3-1, I just don't understand it.
Here comes Gabe.
No, you do understand it. It came from the president.
So
it came from the president.
I was in and you guys know I love Hamilton. I was in the room where it happened. Right? We were in the alumni suite. It was at the end of the off-season program, and Ed Policy sits down with us, and we all know what the lead story was that came out of that. I don't want lame duck coaches.
Yep.
I'm not extending. And by the way, why are we not discussing the fact that the general manager didn't get an extension either?
No, I'm ready.
No one talks about that.
Look, you need to listen.
I got to listen to Gabe Night.
You got to listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy a little bit.
Gabe Morning, actually,
because I think that Goody has, with all of this criticism that has come the way of
Steve's
Matt LaFleur,
not sitting in a seat going, God, Goody, these 2 free agent signings are terrible.
Because and Goody gave himself some.
You're not a good steward of my tickets.
A little bit of deodorant with the Micah Parsons deal, right? So that helps smooth some things over. But I look at this roster in some holes. Goody has been skating. I'm with you there, Jason. But it did come from the president. if you want to me, the definition of a hot seat is, well, I don't want a lame duck coach, but I'm not giving you an extension.
So there's
you got to go out and earn your next contract extension in this year.
I would agree. I think
you got to let the year play out before you start
I want to
firing.
discuss this further, and we got to hit a break. So I want to give Steve his final thoughts. We'll let him depart, and then I want to get back into this Goody and LaFleur conversation coming up next with you too.
All fan perspective, there's a Super Bowl standard with this franchise. He has not done that. My expectation when you get a guy like Micah Parsons, I know he's on defense, and I know Matt LaFleur's an offensive guy. You got to get it done, and I know that they have a good record. I'm not disputing that, but there's a higher standard now, and the expectation is this team is good enough. That's the frustration. And when I sit
is
in
this team good enough?
If they're healthy, they're good enough. And that's
without Tucker Kraft. Is this team a Super Bowl team?
I think so. It's wide open in the NFC this year, Jason. Come on.
That part's true.
It is wide open.
But without Tucker Kraft, I just...
We'll see.
We'll see.
Play better today. That's what I'm saying.
Steve's fired up. Steve, appreciate the time. It's always good hanging out with you.
I love
Enjoy the
hanging out
game.
with you guys.
It's quite the pep talk.
That was.
Play better, damn it.
Get him in the locker room.
It's like it's like
let me slam my headset
down. I know you don't look like a winning team, but you are one.
Come on,
so
guys.
play like one today.
What the hell's going on out there?
Broad Schoolers, friends, you've got it all, but rolling into the tailgate with a clean car, the real MVP move. Keep it spotless with the Tsunami Express Car Wash membership. 13 locations and growing. It is easy to swing through on your way to the action. Tsunami Express. Wash, chill, repeat. Myself, Gabe, Jason, we hang with you right after this as we continue this Goody discussion because I really am intrigued by these two's thoughts
want this
on it.
to become Green Bay game day, and we're now criticizing the general manager.
You started it.
No, I clarified who should. Both of them.
Headset's going back on Steve, even though we gotta take a break. Go ahead, get your
Like you
thought
care
in.
about breaks.
No, go to break.
All right, go into break. More conversation after this. Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It is right here on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's football season, and that means it's time to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% Blue Weber agave, all natural and so smooth it's criminal. Try the award-winning Blanco, Reposado, and Yeho, and the new high-proof Plata 47. Ask for El Bandito Yankee at your favorite bar or restaurant, and buy it today at Woodman's and Festival Foods. And for tailgates, recipes, and more places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
At Grunberg Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Grunberg Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Crispy chicken just keeps getting better at Cousin Subs. Try our crispy chicken basket, complete with 3 white meat tenders and a regular fry, a meal made easy. And for the little ones, our kids meal comes with 2 crispy tenders, applesauce, a juice box, and cookie. Just the right size for growing appetites. Made with quality chicken and ready to enjoy in-store, online, or on the app. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only around for a limited time. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Homer here for Window Nation's end-of-the-year sale. This November, you'll save big with 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% financing for 5 years. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills and come with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation even has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Don't miss out on 50% off and 0 interest for 5 years. Visit windownation.com to get started.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. We will get to the injury report in about 10 minutes, which is also presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I'm Alex Strofe. He is Mr. Worldwide. Our buddy Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, weekday morning 7 to 9. And right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is Wilde and Tausch with that fella, the three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde on Wilde and Tausch, weekdays from 9 until noon. All right, you guys were having a really interesting conversation that I want to continue here about, and not necessarily the blame game. I don't want to misidentify it, but I believe there's enough to go around for the weird year it's been through 10 games at 6-3-1. Sure, Matt LaFleur has not called the offense brilliantly all year. We can all agree on that, yes?
Yeah, I can't wait to see this offense without Josh Jacobs today. I want to see if Gabe's theory ends up playing
Which
out.
you did not like Gabe's
And when
theory.
they win 38-10, and Gabe is taking an enormous victory lap, I can't wait to be on with
You
it.
might not have a show on Monday if that's the case. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, it's just
extended
going to
version?
go all the way to noon. That's the type of victory lap I would end up taking.
Josh, Gabe, and Victory Laps will be the name of that show at beginning at 9 o'clock.
But I guess my problem with
yeah.
I have frustrations as a Packers fan with Matt LaFleur.
Yep,
they don't, but it seems like either
So does Steve Scafidi.
Jeez, yeah, he got fired up there, didn't he?
But I'm also not at a point where I want to fire him. Because at the same time, if the Green Bay Packers, first of all, I think the only way he does get fired is if they miss the playoffs, which to me the next 3 games would have to go.
Yeah, the next
poorly.
3 will dictate that.
Yeah, I think the next 3, if they go poorly, that kind of would dictate that, where you are for the rest of the season. So I think the only scenario in which he gets fired is if they miss the postseason. I'm not predicting that to happen, but if it does, that's where he's getting fired.
Yep.
He would also be one of the first coaches to be hired should that happen.
Yeah, I don't even think he'd get a Vrabel year. Like Vrabel got a year off. McCarthy got a year off when he was fired.
Nope.
I don't think LaFleur would get
Especially
one. I think
with-
he's got a job next year.
With the track record he has of having success with quarterbacks. Because again, when he came in here, honestly, it almost ends up being the same thing, following in the footsteps of Mike McCarthy. Because when McCarthy came in here, Brett wasn't playing his best. McCarthy comes in here, Brett ends up, playing tremendous football in 2006 and 2007. And in 2007, he prevents Tom Brady from being a unanimous MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron was not playing his best football in 17 and 18, obviously got hurt in 17, but they weren't playing great in 2018 either. So he comes in, Rodgers plays well in 19, and wins back-to-back MVPs. So he's
Correct.
LaFleur has a great reputation across the league, and I think he would be hired almost instantly. That being said, I still have frustrations. It feels like he's flipping a coin anytime he decides to go for a big 4th down, right?
He goes with his gut.
Yeah, which come on, man. And sometimes his gut is Jordan Love gave me a bad look, I better go for it, which is what happened in Arizona. I know that's oversimplifying things,
It is.
Jason, but it's...
He wanted to go. He didn't have the guts to do it. His quarterback gave him a dirty look, and they said, okay, I should probably go.
And then he got frustrated and decided to go for a fourth down he shouldn't have against Carolina.
Correct.
Because his team backed up. It just seems like he gets too emotional in some of those situations.
I don't think there's any question that's a fair critique.
But also, I don't want to fire him because of it.
Right, exactly. And look, I think he doesn't probably get enough credit, and I tell the story all the time because it's one of my favorites. That Friday, after the Vikings had played the Rams on Thursday Night Football, and Rodgers and Cobb and Devontae Adams are all talking about, oh, my God, did you watch what Sean McVay did? Wouldn't it be great to be in that offense? That was supposed to be off the record, but who cares now?
Sounds like it's on the record
But
now.
my point is that he comes.
Somebody also told that story on the record before McCarthy was even fired. Because I remember reading about that before McCarthy got fired.
Yeah, I think it was Tom Pelissero. But be that as it may, my point is that I think LaFleur probably doesn't get he doesn't deserve all the credit by any means, but he deserves some credit, just like Mike McCarthy deserves credit for reeling Brett Favre back in from where he had gotten to with Mike Sherman and Tom Rossley. But going back to our discussion about LaFleur, Goody, here's what I think happens. I think if they go on a playoff run and they make it to the NFC Championship game, those two both get multi-year extensions and everything's hunky-dory in Titletown.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they miss the playoffs, I think Matt LaFleur is coaching the Tennessee Titans or somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they land somewhere in between, I think what probably happens is they take the half measure of giving them each an additional year onto their contracts and see what happens next
So it's
year.
not technically lame duck, but it's a prove-it year?
Yes, because then if you don't get what you want from 2026, then you fire one or both of them.
Yep.
And then you start over. Now, again,
just real quick, Jason, it's more likely the head coach gets fired than the GM.
See,
yes?
again, that's apparently the narrative for some, but I don't. That's what I don't understand.
Typically, that would be the case because the GM's trying to save their job and the GM's responsible for that. But that's
not the case
with the structure.
Right.
With the structure here, I don't think you can fall into that trope because we honestly don't know, and that's the great mystery from Ed Policy is we don't know if he. I mean, he was on the committee that hired Matt LaFleur, so obviously there's something there that he liked about LaFleur when he hired him or was part of that process, 7 years ago. But also, I just don't know how he would handle that situation. Nobody does because he's still new to the position.
And unlike his predecessor, I don't think we're going to trick him into telling us his plans or saying something he shouldn't. Because that was a Mark Murphy thing. That is not an Ed Policy thing.
Well, Jason, you don't know unless you try. So I hope you guys at least try.
Well, we got to wait for the girls' state high school basketball tournament.
Oh, the memories of Mark Murphy. Where is that fella?
He's running his golf course up in Door County. And, I mean, look, he the things he did here from a business perspective.
Incredible.
Oh, I was just talking with somebody that I know that went to UWGB, and what this has become. Like Lambeau Field and the surrounding area, and a lot of that's thanks to Mark.
Yeah, big time.
Now Ryan Longwell's favorite restaurant, Applebee's, is now a combined
IHOP and Applebee's. I drove past that this morning.
The world has become a much better place.
It's so funny you mentioned that. I was driving past it, and the IHOP's closed now by Bay Park Square Mall.
Correct, yeah.
I got in a fender bender once, and we went over the damage in that IHOP parking lot, and I was sad to see it was gone.
Were you at fault?
I was, yes. I was 16. I was on Oneida Street. I was going to race the car in the lane next to me, not realizing the car in the lane next to me was in the left-hand turn lane.
Oh, dear.
And got a left-hand turn sign.
Race.
So I put my Saturn Ion, 2007 Saturn Ion, the first of two I owned, pedal to the metal, and I rear-ended the car in front of me. Luckily, no damage, but we evaluated in the IHOP parking lot. The guy that was driving was very nice. His wife or girlfriend in the passenger seat, not so nice. But I ended up leaving without needing to give them my insurance. Anyway, that's my story of the day.
Thanks for sharing.
Coming up next, we will get to the injury report presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We will also hit our favorite game, yes or no, with Jason Wilde coming up next. But first, Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's It's America's favorite vodka for a reason. It's distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's, known for great vodka, giving back, and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by Fifth Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor Tito's responsibly. Injury report, yes or no? The best segment ever. Coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com.
A blizzard of $300,000 in prizes is rolling into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. It's Arctic action. 1 in, Step 1. Earn entries with your rewards card December 1st through the 18th. Step 2. Show up for Thursday drawings. Step 3. Be ready for a chance to pick from a weekly prize board. As a bonus, there'll be a jackpot drawing for the leftover prizes. Arctic action. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Penalty flags? Not here. Carbless is the clean play that every football fan can agree on. With 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories, you get all the flavor without the penalty. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium, hosting a crew at home, or watching solo in your lucky jersey, Carbless brings premium cocktails right into the huddle. Made to be refreshingly delicious and game day ready, Carbless keeps fans cheering from kickoff to the final whistle. So this season, skip the sugar, skip the carbs, and make the winning call. Find your bliss with Carbless.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Score the top gifts for the Brewers fan in your life this holiday season. Set them up for an epic 2026 season with the all-new Brewers Holiday Bundle, featuring 4 ticket vouchers, loaded value concession credits, and an exclusive Brewers Holiday ornament, starting at just $99. Finish shopping for even the youngest Brewers fans with the 2026 Kids Crew Kit, including one-of-a-kind Brewers merch, 6 ticket vouchers, a ballpark tour, and more, all for just $35. Grab every Brewers Holiday gift today at Brewers.com.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
The grill is hot, the crowd is loud, and the flavor? That's all Coop's Mustard. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. For over 125 years, Coop's has been the MVP of Game Day Eats with 14 bold flavors that make every brat, burger, and pretzel a championship bite. Because Coop's isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. The kind that turns tailgates into traditions and touchdowns into taste bud celebrations. This football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coop's. Coop's Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
Crisp air, cozy sweaters, and a home that's actually ready for fall. Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Don't let your home be the only thing falling apart this season. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. Exterior Pros and Baths, because your house deserves a little sweater weather too.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference, and so is today's injury report. Visit orthowisconsin.com today for more information. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Jason Wilde with you here on Green Bay Game Day. The Packers will be shorthanded today. We already knew running back Josh Jacobs was going to be out of this game. We figured linebacker Quay Walker was going to be out of this game, which he is.
Because he got the very rare, I'm sure you were excited, the very rare doubtful. He was doubtful.
Yeah, Jason does love his designations.
Just anything but questionable. I just assume you get excited about on the injury report.
The other note worth mentioning, wide receiver Matthew Golden is out today. He will not play for Green Bay. The other inactives, most of them, you knew this. Cornerback Nate Hobbs. Brandon McManus will handle the kicking duties today because Lucas Haversick is inactive.
He had a great week.
Jamon Johnson, the linebacker,
Sure
and offensive lineman Donovan Jennings are the healthy scratches today.
Going to Matthew Golden and tying it into potentially maybe why Josh Jacobs doesn't play today. Did they bring him back too early last week?
It would appear so.
Because
he was
on a limited snap count last week to begin with, trying to ease him back in, and I just assumed, okay, he's back. They're just going to kind of slowly take that snap count up as he continues to get healthier, but obviously he takes a step backwards today by not playing.
Yeah, and he was also added to the injury report with a wrist injury. So he has both now the shoulder and apparently the wrist. That came out after Matt LaFleur had talked before practice on Friday, so I don't have clarity on what exactly is keeping him out, but obviously both are issues if he's on the injury report. But to your point about questionable, that's from 5% likelihood of not playing to 74.9% likelihood, because doubtful is 75% or less.
Yeah, well, because he was questionable last week and played. Right.
And Savion Williams was questionable, and he's playing, even though he walks around in an orthopedic boot all week.
Oh, that's what we're going to call it? We're not calling it a walking boot anymore? Specifically,
orthopedic
boot?
I'll be honest. First of all, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
There is a difference.
Second of all, that's one of my favorite words.
Okay.
Orthopedic?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know.
It's challenging to spell. So whenever I get it into a story, I do.
Well, I didn't know
You're
if that was one of those things with you because you are a details guy.
Correct.
And I remember when you had written a story where you were exchanging messages with someone. It was not a text message. It was very specifically an iMessage. So I didn't know if this was the actual or that you wanted to be as specific as you could.
All right, dorks, that's enough of that. Lucas Van Ness is back today.
Better than yes or no.
We'll get to that. Lucas Van Ness back today. What do we expect out of him?
Not a ton.
Same?
What did you expect from him when he was healthy?
Not a ton.
Right? And so, again...
Yeah, but he's been pretty good when he's been healthy this year.
He's had some moments for sure. I mean, he was injured on a play that he had a sack on Joe Flacco. But, again, this is another player...
Not to be confused with the Browns version of Joe Flacco, by the way. That was the Bengals game.
Indeed. That's a very good clarification. This is a guy that's... in a prove-it year, whether he's going to get the fifth-year option or not, which I don't anticipate he will. But
actually,
he missed
not
5 games.
Not what those guys get paid at that position.
If they move on from Rashan Gary, though, this offseason, I would not be shocked by it.
No, I don't think they would pick up the fifth-year option. I think they would be more interested in
a one-year extension.
Kingsley and Igbare.
Well, no, because you still have a year left of.
Sure.
It's not like, I didn't pick up the fifth-year option. Now he's no longer a Packer. You still have the fourth year of the contract.
Right. Well,
instead of committing a bunch of guaranteed money at that position,
you're going to have to do it if you want to keep him past 26. Then you have to do that anyway. So
yeah,
I actually don't think the fifth-year option would be the worst decision if he's their starting defensive end opposite Micah Parsons next year.
I don't think that they would want to lock into a fully guaranteed deal. And find themselves.
I think you're probably right.
And find themselves in a Darnell Savage situation of, crap, this is fully guaranteed, and there's nothing we can do to soften this.
I thought we banned that name from this program. There's a couple names we can't talk about. Kevin King, Darnell Savage. Am I missing anybody? Ahmad Carroll.
I mean, I assume Brandon Bostic.
Jason loves bringing him up because he saw Ryan Taylor 3 months ago.
He was here at the last game, too.
Was he?
Came up from Chicago, yeah. I love that story. Packers lost the NFC Championship game
because they cut
in
Ryan
Seattle in October. Because they cut Ryan Taylor, who had fielded an onside kick and gotten chewed out to no end.
This is my fault.
Because he's supposed to block and let it go. And so then, in the exact same spot that Ryan Taylor would have
Enough!
Brandon Bostic was there, and he tried to field it, and they didn't go to the Super Bowl because Ted cut Ryan Taylor.
44 degrees right now, getting up to 49 by kickoff at Lambeau Field. It's Packers-Vikings here in Week 12 of the NFL. Whether it's a cold Lambeau breeze, a rainy afternoon, or a perfect fall football chill, you want windows that can handle it all. It's cold out there. And if you spent last winter thinking that it was time for new windows, it's good you waited, because you could save big with 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could get 0% financing for 5 years. The sale ends soon. Visit their website, windownation.com, to get started today. That's windownation.com. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for Yes or No with Jason Wilde.
Will today be the day there are black and white answers from our most respected journalist?
Possibly. I think we shouldn't be greedy. Maybe. You would certainly hope so.
It's time for Yes or No with Jason Wilde.
There's a guy in a Vikings sweatshirt straight through here. I swear to God, I thought it was Dick Vermeil. Tell me that guy doesn't look like Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, especially with the sunglasses.
Legendary Eagles and Rams coach. All right, sorry, go ahead. I hate to
Dick Vermeil in a Viking sweatshirt.
Well, he's not attached to any team right now.
Yeah.
He's like 88 years old, but it'd be kind of cold. He should wear a hat. All right, what do you got?
Better than Dick Vermeil lookalikes. That's what I got.
I don't think you do.
Wow.
If we're being honest.
Gabe, you're supposed to be on my side.
No, you know whose side I'm on here.
Yes or no time here on Green Bay Game Day. I've got questions. I'm looking for yes or no answers. Will I get any? Well, the answer simply is
Maybe.
no. The answer is no to that question. Yes or no, Rashan Gary will outsnap Kingsley Enagbare today.
Gabe, what's the phrase?
Possibly.
He's not a big snap. He's not a big.
He's not a big snap count guy, so
You guys are ridiculous.
I'm not sure if that's the case, especially with now Lucas Van Ness.
What happened to
taking some of
you?
those snaps.
You used to answer yes or no. What happened to you?
I felt like we should have retired the segment after Jason answered yes or no, so now I'm on Jason's side.
So glad
You
I got your outside today.
You suck, Gabe. The answer is going to be yes, but I'm curious from Jason's perspective on the analysis portion, maybe not the yes or no portion.
Yeah, I think there's actually two people that I'm curious to see what their snap counts are. It's him and it's Luke Musgrave.
Oh.
Because Matt LaFleur also said that
He played 2 snaps in the second half?
right, and he made the comment that it's already been addressed. And I asked with Luke or with the coaching staff, and he said with the coaching staff. So, again, this is going back to my diatribe when I first arrived. Like, they are still trying to figure out how to be effective in the passing game. And Luke Musgrave, who does not block as adeptly as the guy he's trying to replace, dropping 2 passes and having 1 catch for -1 yard, not overly helpful to that endeavor.
Thank goodness one of those was a drop, because otherwise it would have been a fumble.
Right?
So
It's the greatest
Good
drop
point.
in NFL
Good point.
It was a great drop, but
Greatest drop.
you know that he can be effective when we're talking about Luke Musgrave, because he did it the first 8 games before he had his lacerated kidney.
You got it.
Lacerated kidney his rookie year before Tucker Kraft then took over. Their skill sets are different. I understand they were starting to tailor some of the things they did offensively with the tight end position to what Tucker Kraft's skill set is, but I do expect that they're going to find better ways to use Luke Musgrave as they continue to slowly morph this offense week to week.
And look, I think that you're going to see them use more of Darian Kennard as the Kevin Berry of 2025, the U70 package. And I think you're going to see, that I think they really like what they got from Josh Wiley. I think he's.
Yeah, I'm curious about him.
They're really intrigued by what they might have unlocked there.
He seems to be, in terms of pass blocking and receiving option, maybe their most complete tight end.
Well, and what's interesting about him is he's not like your typical, he's a practice squad call-up guy. Like, the guy played 28 games
I was going to ask,
for the Titans.
Did they sign him was he a free agent? Was he on the street, or was he on a practice squad?
So they cut him at the end of camp, and the Packers signed him to the practice squad. Tennessee did. Tennessee cut him at the end of camp. And he kind of just bided his
So he's
time.
been on the practice squad all year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
got
they
it.
elevated him.
I know he was
after-
elevated, but I didn't
yeah.
realize when they signed him. Okay, got it. Interesting. A touchdown catch for him, was that 2 weeks ago?
last week.
Against
the Giants.
Got it. Yeah, that was Love's first.
There weren't a
On
lot
the
of
legal-
touchdowns in the previous team.
No.
a good
On
point
the
by
legal
you.
pick play, that was not intended, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
That's good.
Knock that guy into next week.
Yes or no, Luke Musgrave is the tight end we thought he could be?
No, I have to answer that one honestly.
Yes!
Because
I did it!
Because if you look at the buzz that was generated about him in training camp, and I'm like, we made our jokes about Bambi on the frozen pond and everything else. But he's still really athletic and it's almost like these two. One of my favorite Matt Carney songs is "Ships in the Night." These guys are two ships. They're never on the field together. Like Tucker Kraft hardly playing the first half of his rookie year, then the lacerated kidney, then last year the whole idea of those two. Oh, this is the year, right? And then obviously the ankle injury that costs Luke Musgrave 10 games. Then we get to this year, and Matt LaFleur goes into this year planning on, hey, we're going to be a heavy 2 tight end set team. Because we got to get both these guys on the field. They've got different skill sets, and he knew that Tucker Kraft was on the precipice.
Yeah, and honestly, on paper, those two skill sets should complement each other. You would think.
Right, like as much as it pains me to make the comparison because of what happened with New England, it is very much the Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski
two different skill sets.
That would have been, that. Then with all the wide receivers they have at their disposal, and Josh Jacobs, maybe you're able to get him to run the types of running plays that you want to run. You got something there.
Besides the fact I'm over the moon and I could kiss you right now because you actually gave me a yes or no answer. I remember talking to you in training camp.
He's going to push and ask another one, by the way.
No, I'm not. We're going to end the segment there.
Take your wins.
I know. I am curious, though, because I remember you and I discussed, I believe it was the first weekly Wildy of this season, where I talked about my excitement for 2 tight end sets, right? 12 or 22 personnel. We just really didn't see that when Tucker Kraft was healthy, with Musgrave being the second tight end.
And that's why I answered your question. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Because that's part of this equation, too. Because then you had them both healthy. He was Luke Musgrave was a ghost. And
he wasn't utilized.
There was no buzz about him there. And then his snap counts, obviously, they decided
not a big snap count guy.
3 wides and a tight end and a back was more their base for the first half while they had Tucker Kraft available.
So, revisiting that, do you think that Matt LaFleur saying, hey, I talked to the coaching staff about his playing time, was that him just trying to publicly say, hey, we still need you, Luke.
Right.
You can't.
Don't go in the tank.
Because I still feel like it was pretty purposeful why he didn't play.
That's a good point.
And only played the 2 snaps that he did in the second half last week.
Well, and let's also point this out going back to earlier. That's a second-round pick.
Yep.
And is the general manager responsible? If we're going to give him credit for taking the guy out of South Dakota State, you got to look at the guy that played 2 games his final year at Oregon State because of injuries.
Yep.
And wonder if you made the right decision there as well.
What do you think cheese dripper means? I'm looking at a custom jersey. A man is wearing a full-blown Packers uniform.
You're more easily distracted than anyone I know.
Cheese dripper. I don't know what that means, to be real frank with you. But what I can tell you.
And no one who's listening on the radio can see it. And yet
it's a dude wearing a Packers helmet, bibs, underneath a jersey that is number 1, like Micah Parsons, but on the back it says cheese dripper, and I don't know what the hell that means.
I saw another guy as I was driving in who had the number 0, and instead of golden, he had days sober.
Yeah, I've seen that one a few times. That one's funny. It's funny.
I don't think that's no way to live your life, son.
Well, when you're drinking beer at a Packers game, you better get a brat and put some Coops mustard on it, because we are here at the Tundra Trio tailgate, and it wouldn't be Wisconsin football without brats on the grills and Coops mustard on top of said brats. Coops is part of our game day tradition, from classic yellow to spicy brown to Arizona heat to jalapeno and all the in-betweens. Coops mustard brings the flavor. Coops mustard, spreading the love since 1897. Make the right decision. Use Wisconsin's mustard. That is Coops mustard. All right, we will wrap up the Jason Wilde Hour coming up next as we continue to take a look at Packers-Vikings coming up at noon here at Lambeau Field. The Packers 6-3-1 and have 3 divisional games in a row starting today against Minnesota. We will take a look at that slate and today's game with Jason Wilde. Coming up next, it's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. This season, give gifts that are always a win. Island Resort and Casino gift cards, gaming and dining, poolside fun, and overnight stays. Gift cards unlock endless island adventures, like championship golf rounds on Sweetgrass and Sage Run, a blissful escape to the Drift Spa, and an unforgettable evening in the Island Showroom. To buy Island Resort and Casino gift cards, stop by the Island Club or call 877-ISL-SHOW now.
Win a pair of tickets to see Green Bay host Chicago on December 7th, which includes access to Green Bay's upscale tailgating destination, the Tundra Trio. 3 upscale homes just steps from the stadium, featuring next-level pre- and post-game festivities with gourmet food and premium drinks. Thanks to Dr. Pepper and ESPN Wisconsin. Enter to win now at ESPNWisconsin.com. Wherever you watch the game, nothing hits like the bold signature flavor of Dr. Pepper. Enjoy an ice-cold Dr. Pepper during your next visit to McDonald's. No purchase necessary. Enter by November 23rd.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. A new one this season honoring Coach Tom Crean. Third coaching banner with number 77 Al McGuire and Hank Raymond. Crean's 2003 team went to the Final Four. He brought in Dwayne Wade and helped get Marquette into the Big East. An honor for Crean long overdue. And the proper order of what he accomplished, Big East, Final Four, and most importantly, Tom Crean convinced Dwayne Wade to come to Marquette. Medicare won't cover everything. That's why you should consider a Medicare supplement. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance helps reduce those out-of-pocket costs when you need medical care. And it's guaranteed renewable for life as long as premiums are paid. Call Saganiac Planning today, 262-783-6161. Ask about WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent, neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents or products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to host of the Dunker Spot, Nekias Duncan. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Yeah, it's Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strofe. He is Gabe Neitzel. He is Jason Wilde. Wrapping up the Jason Wilde hour of Green Bay Game Day here at the Tundra Trio. We are live inside the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio just outside of Lambeau Field, just over an hour away from kickoff, which means there's fireworks coming, Gabe, and I'm not going to be scared today.
Okay.
That's my...
I feel the last noon game, they didn't really get you.
No, they didn't. I think it took 3 years, but I think I'm finally getting used to the hour before fireworks. So I see you have your notebook in your hand.
Oh, I do.
When we got here about 8 o'clock this morning, you broke out your laptop, you broke out a notebook, and I said, oh boy, Gabe's going to work this morning. I have no idea what's on the notebook. What's on your mind?
I just had I had a thought as I was driving up here today, because I've been making the complaint, I guess, about Josh Jacobson running out of shotgun. Seems like, okay, they need to run more things under center. So how, and again, it's a small sample size, so combining I put 6 carries, technically he had 7 carries, but one of them was a swing pass.
Correct.
That ended up being a lateral, so I eliminated that because it felt like that was designed to be a pass play, not a run play.
Out of the shotgun, wasn't it?
It was out of the shotgun. Out of the 27 carries he had against the Giants and the Eagles, how many snaps were out of shotgun? How many runs were out of shotgun?
So what was the number again, 27?
27. 21 carries against Philadelphia, and then 6
before the injury.
Before the injury. Again,
of the 27, how many?
One of the carries.
How many were out of shotgun? Jason, I'll let you guess first. I'm going to guess it's close to 27. I'm going to go 21. I'm not letting you go first.
Did you literally just say, I'm going to let you guess first, and then you guessed?
Then he gave an answer.
So yeah, sorry, I was going through it.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Price is Right technique, and I believe you're too high, so you can't go over.
$1, Bob?
I'm going to bet 1 carry came out of the shotgun.
All right, Gabe, what's the answer?
So 12 out of the 27. 12 out of the 27 were out of shotgun,
that's
so
it?
around 44%. And then Emmanuel Wilson got 11 carries last week. How many of his came out of shotgun?
4 of the 11. 4.
I'm going to go 5.
3.
We're both over, actually.
27%. So so that's what I'm kind of curious to see today, is if they stay closer to Emmanuel Wilson running out of shotgun versus Josh Jacobs running out of shotgun. Again, it's a small sample size of the last 2 games, but that's about all I had time to look up at with the NFL Plus account today.
And that was Trivia. Trivia brought to you by Lakeland University, Wisconsin's leader in flexible, personalized education. Whether you're just starting college, finishing your degree, or balancing work and family, Lakeland lets you earn your degree your way. Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I was good. That was good.
Oh, I thought
really
you.
Well done.
I thought
I was just saying,
really well done. He says
it's interesting that it's not as prevalent, at least based on those 2 games.
Sure,
yeah, we got to go back and obviously check the.
Yeah, I'd be curious at season long, but
the other question that I would have, and I haven't asked LaFleur this, is with the way the offensive line's protection has been inconsistent, has that also factored into how often he is in shotgun for his quarterback safety? Because we know last year the quarterback played injured for much of the year, and if you can keep him a little healthier because you give him that extra split second in passing situations, I'd be curious how that factors in at work.
Yeah, so I think that all that kind of goes into that, and I'm just curious because last week I've been clamoring, Jason, for boot action, roll out to the right, and they ran it twice last week. They did it on the touchdown with Malik, where he found Christian Watson.
Yep.
And then they did it again where Watson was, usually it's the tight end, but this time it was Watson in the flat, and he actually hit the second level to Romeo Doubs when Love was able to roll out. And those are some of the things that I feel I've been missing,
and that's
that you run from under center.
That's your criticism that I agree with, by the way. I do think that they, there haven't been enough of rollouts and bootlegs, and
which is hard, but that's hard to do when you're running, when your lead running back prefers to run out of shotgun.
But you got to get your quarterback moving, especially if your protection has been inconsistent.
All right, Jason, we'll get you out of here.
Helps too.
We'll get you out of here on this. Obviously, the beginning of a crucial stretch for Green Bay. First of 3 in a row divisional games, including one 4 days from today on Thanksgiving, as the Packers head to Detroit. They host the Vikings today, who by all means are the worst team, at least record-wise, in the division, but still good in the division. They've beat Detroit on the road, and I believe they beat Chicago earlier in the year, 2-0 in the division. The Vikings are the only team in the division.
No, they lost to Chicago last week, though.
Are they 2-1 in the division? Because I think they have 2 wins. And they're the only team in the division with 2 wins against NFC North opponents. Now, damn it.
Gotcha.
Pre-game fireworks just went off an hour early.
Don't be scared.
Dude, it's not that it scares me, it just catches me off guard.
My dog.
Yeah, I was about to say, my dog doesn't even react like that to fireworks.
What do the Packers need to do to get a win and start 2-0 in NFC North play?
I mean, they need to take advantage of facing a quarterback who is prone to throw interceptions. Like, last week they knew Jameis was going to give them some chances, and they butterfingered a bunch of them.
Yeah, they did.
And look, we always joke, well, there's a reason why they play defense instead of wide receiver, but you can't let those slip through your fingers, literally. Those are opportunities, and if that happens today, you have to take advantage because, you look at the Giants game, you look at a game like this, when you get those takeaways, you give your offense short fields, and you prevent the team. Like the Giants ran 69 offensive plays.
Yep.
Almost half of those came after interceptions were dropped. And 2 of their 3 touchdowns came after interceptions were dropped. That's how you win 38-10.
And I would say, specifically for today, take advantage of the first 3 quarters because I don't know what happens, and I know he calls himself 9, goes into the third person calling himself 9. But J.J. McCarthy has played well in fourth quarters of games. You didn't hear that this week?
I did not. I missed that.
I thought you being a big third person. Who was the Greg Joseph.
Greg Joseph's got to worry about Greg Joseph. If Greg Joseph's on, Greg Joseph is going to be okay. Jimmy makes the shot.
Refers to himself as 9, and that guy comes out in the fourth quarter, which
dork.
To his point, he has. I mean, he played well, got them into position to win that game last week.
Make you like Jordan Love even more.
He does.
Jordan Love is the most likable quarterback in the NFC North, and I don't know that it's particularly close. Jared Goff, likable. Caleb Williams is a Bears quarterback, so he annoys me. And obviously, J.J. McCarthy's alter ego is... I almost swore. Very annoying.
But he has played well in the fourth quarter.
Mr. Unlimited.
Had their special teams not given up a big... return, they would have won that game last week.
They should have won the game, yes.
Played well against, in their first game of the year against the Bears, played well against the Lions in the fourth quarter. Didn't play well the first 3 quarters.
Correct.
So he's going to give you those
That's a
chances.
really good point, Gabe.
Take advantage of those in the first 3 quarters.
Can't wait to listen to Gabe Knight.
Gabe Knight, Green Bay game night, with not Green Bay Gabe Knight, Green Bay game night with Homer Tausch,
you got him all
Gary Ellerson, and Jason Wilde.
Until the fireworks
and Wilde and Tausch beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Jason, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
We'll do it again next week. Actually, scratch that. We'll do it again in 4 days.
Right, and then we'll do it the following Sunday, but I don't have to get here as early. I can plan on a 3:25.
Well, you can get there early, though, because it is my birthday party. So we're having a birthday party for me on December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And if you missed it, you can enter to win tickets to that game at ESPNWisconsin.com.
You can win tickets
to my birthday party.
My birthday party.
Yeah. Oh, you weren't here for that read. Presented by Dr. Pepper. Enter to win tickets and Tundra Trio passes. ESPNWisconsin.com. It's Alex Stroh's birthday party. Yeah. So looking forward to having you here.
That's how I've been reading that on our show. So
Good, now you
I can add that in.
Yeah, you can.
So
You can.
Added value for
Indeed.
Dr. Pepper.
All right, 1 hour to go. A little bit less than that, in fact, as we've gone way over. It's 11:04. So 56 minutes to go until kickoff.
That's fine.
Gabe and I hang with you. We've got to make our Google offices one call. We've got to look at our Island Resort and Casino best bets and a whole lot more coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Hey, it's Gary Ellerson for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack selected varieties essential everyday purified water, 2 for $6. 9 to 13.1 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch crunch, ripple, or restaurant tortilla chips, 2 for $5.50. 64-ounce selected varieties Ocean Spray cranberry juice, $2.99. 75 to 80 count or 12-ounce selected varieties Lysol disinfecting wipes or spray, $4.99.
And now, time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's finally game day.
6, good protection, pass wide open, making the catch and getting into Washington territory. Tucker Kraft pulls his way down to the 20-yard line.
And the countdown to kickoff starts now.
The fake, pass caught, touchdown, Green Bay Romeo Dobbs.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Broadcasting live from the shadow of the south end zone at Lambeau Field.
Alongside Gabe Neitzel, here is Alex Strofe.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strofe alongside my good friend Gabe Neitzel, Mr. Worldwide. You can hear him today beginning at 4 o'clock, ESPN Radio, probably after Green Bay Game Night if you're listening on these stations. Gabe?
Always available on the ESPN app.
That's true. That's true. Take the listeners away from Homer, Tausch, and Gary. There you go. There you go. Gabe Night. How you feeling ahead of this one? Less than an hour to go. Packers, Vikings, it feels to me like a big game. Like I've got the big game jitters.
I mean, it is a big game because it's a big stretch of games. They were so bad in the division last year, only splitting with the Bears thanks to a blocked field goal down there in Chicago. And then losing here at Lambeau Field to the Bears to end the season, getting swept by the Vikings, getting swept by the Lions. These games are huge. And brought it up earlier when we were talking with Brian Bulaga. I know as a fan base, and understandably so, and Scafidi had mentioned this, our sights are higher. Our expectations, our standards are higher in Green Bay than most other places in the NFL. And because of that, you don't celebrate the division championships. But that doesn't mean winning the division is not important. It is step one of getting to where you need to go. And if this team, despite not having Tucker Kraft, wants to accomplish some of those things, that's going to bring job security to Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst, that's going to validate the way people feel about Jordan Love, then you have to win these games. You got to go at minimum 2-1 in the next 3 games. And you're hoping that those 2 wins are probably coming at home. And if you go on the road, you lose to Detroit, there's no shame in that. You split with the Lions, and maybe you go 5-1 in the division and completely flip the record. But that's why this is a big game. They haven't played well the last 2 times, at least the offense has not played well the last 2 times in this building. And they're going up against a pretty good defense and a really good defensive coordinator.
Do you believe the Packers are capable of playing the complete game that I feel you and I have talked about during this hour of the program every week this season? Do you believe they're capable of it?
It depends upon what your expectations are. I mean, to be like a
turnover-free 30-point game offensively.
Yeah, they're capable
and defense
of that.
does what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think we're both sold on the defense, right?
Yeah,
the defense does what the defense does.
They're certainly capable of that, but at the same time, like, it all kind of gets married together. Because I thought the offense, especially as the game went going, they were really efficient last week. But the way teams have played the Packers, they're trying to play keep away from this offense. They're trying to shorten games. They've been successful at picking up third downs, completing short passes, and being patient against this in the last week. Certainly, the Giants ran the ball better, I think, than anybody was expecting them to run the ball against this Packers defense. So it kind of gets all married together because yes, they had some possessions, but it's not like they had empty possessions. You can't expect them to score and be perfect in order to get to 30 points. They were really good last week, and they didn't really get that opportunity to get to 30 points because the number of possessions were limited. You have to have those stops if you want to get to that 30-point performance. This defense has to play a little bit better than it did last week if you want to get to 30 points once again against this defense that the Vikings have.
The American flag that is very large being escorted into Lambeau Field right next to us here at the Tundra Trio. Just outside of Lambeau Field as it's Packers-Vikings here. A noon kickoff at Lambeau Field between these 2 divisional foes. Only the second divisional game of the season for Green Bay here in Week 12, but each of their next 3, 4 of their next 5, all against NFC North opponents. That big stretch starts today against the current 4th-place team in the NFC and a technically rookie quarterback, second-year quarterback, but really a rookie, and J.J. McCarthy, who has thrown an interception in every game he's played this year.
And I'm surprised the narrative around J.J. McCarthy.
Which is?
There was something on the bottom third of the screen when because we've got the TVs on ESPN, we're doing Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in the morning, and I'd get up, they were basically talking about, are they running out of patience for J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota? And I understand the frustrations because you're looking at some of the guys you had in the quarterback room last year. You had Sam Darnold. You had, who's having success. Obviously, you had Daniel Jones. I think that one's more far-fetched. He was there.
Okay.
But it's like, oh, man, are they – I understand the frustrations that, Justin Jefferson's having.
Did you hear the quote from J.J. McCarthy? It was earlier this week. I was listening to Heed the Call with Dan Hansis and Mark Sessler last night as I was kind of doing some preparation, listening to some other things around the NFL. But they played a quote from J.J. McCarthy talking about how he's trying to figure out how to learn the Kevin O'Connell offense.
Well, and it's a different way of thinking, and he's got to change the neurons in his brain or something.
I thought Connor Orr, who was on with them, made a really good point. He says, name a quarterback that's had to change how they learn and had success in the NFL. Name one. You can't, right? You can't. You can't rewire your brain on how you learn. You learn how you learn. That's how you are as a human being.
I think what JJ was trying to say is it's just different. It's so different.
Yeah, but Kevin O'Connell then needs to make the adjustment to teach him how he learns then.
No, it's just different. I think that was his way of saying it's an adjustment because literally, what was he asked to do at Michigan?
Not much.
There were times where he was able to throw the ball 10 times in a game.
National championship game. He threw the ball 10 times.
Yeah, and then they would win games.
Yeah, national championship.
So now you're asking him to do things differently, and when you're only throwing the ball 10 times in a game at the college level, it's probably because one read, take off, because he's athletic, and they weren't asking him to do much. But now you have to. It's more complicated.
He's not very good, Gabe.
No, but also he's played 5 games.
Yeah, but he's still not very good.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be great. Peyton Manning threw 26 interceptions his first season.
Yeah.
Right? Guys who haven't played a ton of football and weren't asked a lot and now play, that's what the way the NFL is. And I don't know if J.J. McCarthy's going to be good or not. I'm just not making an overarching statement on whether or not he's a good or bad quarterback.
Oh, I will.
5 games into his career.
I will.
Yeah, I know you will.
He's not good.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'd have said the same thing about Sam Darnold.
He wasn't good, but it took, as it often does, it seems, with quarterbacks these days. If you're a high pick, you go to a bad team, you can't succeed. You leave, you go to a comfortable system. And I think that's the part of, I shouldn't say holding out hope, but why Vikings fans should hold out hope with J.J. McCarthy.
Because you also see what he does in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
You can't just dismiss that offhandedly. Especially if this game's close. If this game's close in the fourth quarter, you are going to be bleeping bricks, my friend, because you know what he's.
I do that regardless of who they're playing.
But you know what he's capable of doing in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
Like the throw he had to Addison last week.
He does gain some comfortability. There's no doubt about that.
And I don't know why. I don't know how it happens. But if I was a Vikings fan, that's what I would point to. Like, hey, this dude's capable of it. Kind of like we always point to, hey, look at what Jordan Love was capable of in the second half of the season 2 years ago.
Right.
We always point to that whenever Jordan Love has his lows. We know what the ceiling is.
I hear you.
And for J.J. McCarthy, if you're a Vikings fan, you're looking at that fourth quarter and going, there's something here. We just need to take more time. Because it turns out, especially at the quarterback position, the best way to get better at football is by playing football. And he is not somebody who's had, because of the injury last year, was able to play a ton of football. Yes, you take those mental reps, but it's different actually seeing all those bullets firing live. And that's why I harped on it with Jason. Take care of business in the first 3 quarters, and then you don't have to worry about whether or not J.J. McCarthy can play well enough in the fourth quarter, because he has played well enough to beat teams that, like the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and that was a good game for him, admittedly, despite I think he threw 2 interceptions in that game.
Yeah, because he played well in the fourth quarter.
But he's going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And the Packers need to capitalize on it.
He's by all intents and purposes, a rookie quarterback.
You could blow them out if you capitalize early.
Yes, in the first 3 quarters.
Yes.
Take care of business in those first 3 quarters.
Make it look like week 1. Make it look like we were back in whatever it was, September 7th, I think.
Make the fourth quarter irrelevant in the game.
Yep.
Because if it's not, you can't rely on him to make those mistakes in the fourth quarter. He might. He very well might. Mm-hmm. He could.
Yeah.
But we know he's capable of playing well in the fourth quarter.
He's been good in the fourth quarter. No doubt about that. Gabe Neitzel is so good in every quarter here on Green Bay Game Day. I'm Alex Striff alongside my buddy Gabe Neitzel, who I just love working with. I love when you yell at me. You can't just dismiss that. You're right. I got to tell you about our friends, by the way, at V Private Bar Services, who are here at the Tundra Trio mixing up all the great cocktails for all of our friends and partners and teammates and fans that are here at the Tundra Trio. V Private Bar Services is the best in the business. They are the go-to team behind our bar hospitality. They bring the flavor, the flair, and the experience that takes our game day to the next level. Book V Private Bar Services today for your next event. Raise the bar for your next event. Book V Private Bar Services. Jordan Love dealing with a separated shoulder. Not on his throwing arm, otherwise he wouldn't be playing today. What are the expectations for the quarterback without Matthew Golden, without Josh Jacobs, without Tucker Kraft, without
Aaron
Jaden
Rodgers
Reed?
played with a separated shoulder. So I'm just saying I think Jordan could too.
Dynamite dropping.
Well, you said he wouldn't be playing if it was a separated shoulder.
I was reading an Ian Rappaport tweet, which says, Jordan Love is a go today, but he'll be fighting through an AC joint sprain in his left shoulder. This injury left visibly bruised, and if it was his right shoulder, he wouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
That's what Ian Rappaport said.
Again, yeah. I'm just telling Ian that I think Jordan Love could, because I saw Aaron Rodgers
Getting his mentions, Gabe. Getting his mentions.
It's not worth it.
You're not a big beef guy, are you?
Not online.
Oh, just in person?
Yeah. I'll have in person. I'd rather have an in-person beef.
When's the last time you got in a fist fight?
Fist fight? College.
Okay. We can change that in the commercial break if you'd like.
I like my odds.
We'll talk about Jordan Love, who is dealing with a separated shoulder and would be playing, according to Gabe, if it was in his throwing arm.
He's a tough guy.
He is a tough guy. We will talk about expectations for Jordan Love with no Josh Jacobs, no Matthew Golden today against the Minnesota Vikings. Coming up next, it's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Win a pair of tickets to see Green Bay host Chicago on December 7th, which includes access to Green Bay's upscale tailgating destination, the Tundra Trio. 3 upscale homes just steps from the stadium, featuring next-level pre- and post-game festivities with gourmet food and premium drinks. Thanks to Dr. Pepper and ESPN Wisconsin. Enter to win now at ESPNWisconsin.com. Wherever you watch the game, nothing hits like the bold signature flavor of Dr. Pepper. Enjoy an ice-cold Dr. Pepper during your next visit to McDonald's. No purchase necessary. Enter by November 23rd.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered with fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel. Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucs game.
In 6 minutes. No more?
No less. Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucs in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus audio network. Find it now on Bucs.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Prize Picks is the best way to win cash on the Packers, on the Bucks, and whether it's football, basketball, or both, Prize Picks makes every game more exciting. Hey, it's Mark Toscher here with ESPN Wisconsin, and I've been playing Prize Picks, and it is as fun and simple as it gets. Which players are going to go off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds, and you can turn your takes into cash. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, get them right, and you can cash in. And now Prize Picks has stacks. Pick the player up to 3 times in one lineup. You want more on Giannis's threes, assists, rebounds? Stack them all only on Prize Picks. Plus, you can follow other players and copy their lineups in one click in the new Feed tab. And with injury reboots, if your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, it won't count as a loss. Deposits are fast and easy with Venmo, Apple Pay, and MasterCard, and more. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code WI and you get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI for Prize Picks. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. By choosing them, you're choosing a center focused on providing specialized care tailored to your needs. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free.
And their prices are more affordable than urgent care or the ER. And they'll send a full report to your primary care doctor. Why wait at the ER? Walk in to Ortho ASAP for faster, more affordable care.
Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. When it's game day, every detail matters, from the perfect seat on the couch to the perfect spread on the table. For over 125 years, Coops has been bringing incredible flavor to the table with 14 bold mustard flavors that turn good food great and great food amazing. Whether it's brats, burgers, or pretzels at halftime, Coops isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. So this football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coops. Coops Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Hey, elevate your game-watching experience and download the Prize Picks app today. Use code GKB. That's code GKB. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's when you use my code, GKB. When you sign up for Prize Picks today, available in the App Store, Google Play, Apple App Store. Download Prize Picks. All you got to do, pick more or less on player props, and you can win some money. $5 play, you'll get $50 in free lineups after you use my code GKB. That's on Prize Picks. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. He's Gabe Neitzel. I'm Alex Strofe with you. And boy, oh boy, am I picking more on any Jordan Love prop today. I think it is going to be a big-time Love game as he gets going in his second divisional game of the year against the Vikings today, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this kind of all works, as they're trying to figure out still with the tight ends, trying to figure out who gets the snaps with Tucker Kraft being down. And Honestly, Matthew Golden being out, I still think that's a big deal. He had a big catch last week for the Packers. And also, it always goes unnoticed. But when you draw the pass interference penalty that he did, that's always a big deal, too, setting up one of the 4 touchdowns that the Packers had. It disappears on the stat sheet. You don't get to see it in anybody's numbers. But missing him today, I think, is a big deal for that Packers passing offense.
I agree.
Because he is somebody that can still be explosive, and that's something they're still looking for outside of Christian Watson. Who can they get the football to that can create those explosive plays?
I'm kind of excited for the game of unsung heroes, right? Like, I think we're going to get a lot of Chris Brooks today. I mentioned that earlier because he's such a good pass protector. Kind of plays almost that fullback role for this offense. But so does Josh Wiley, their new tight end. And he obviously scored the touchdown last week against New York. But he does some really good things. Keep an eye on him today because I think he's going to get quite a bit of snaps. Now, I think we will see more Luke Musgrave than we saw a week ago in New Jersey. But I do think we'll see plenty of Fitzpatrick and plenty of Wiley as well.
I'm just not as sure about that.
The way LaFleur talked this week, it almost seemed like he was guilty of something. The way he talked about the lack of Luke Musgrave in the second half, and then he said he addressed it with the staff. So that makes me almost think they're going to force it, or I shouldn't say force it too, but force him on the field to a point.
Yeah, but then use him in the middle of the field. That's something where we've started to see a little bit more, and when the teams are playing too high shell the way that they've liked to, some of those sideline shots between corners and safeties are a little bit more open. Saw some of those opportunities certainly come to fruition last week for the Packers, but they do need to use the middle of the field a little more often, and the skill set that Luke Musgrave has, that's where he should be operating. And I'm curious to see if that is something they start using him more. Because, again, that skill set, I think it's a good skill set, but it still is radically different than that of Tucker Kraft.
Does Love make or break this game today?
Yeah, it has to. I mean, he is now, when Josh Jacobs is healthy, to me it's debatable who their best offensive weapon is.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs is not healthy. Josh Jacobs is not playing.
That's correct.
This is Jordan Love's offense. If you want to let him cut it loose, and you've been somebody who's been begging Matt LaFleur, hey, we got to cut the quarterback loose. We got to let him go. We got to let him. Well, then today's your day because this game on offense, it's all on the shoulders of Jordan Love.
It is.
One of those apparently is a separated shoulder.
Nicely done. Well done by Gabe Neitzel here on Green Bay.
Hopefully he learned his lesson. I think he learned the lesson. Get down or get out of bounds.
So actually, I like that you said that about the offensive weapon. So Jordan Love excluded. Let's power rank together the best weapons that he has at his disposal today offensively. Will you have any argument when I say number one is Christian Watson?
No, Christian Watson's number one.
Okay, number two, I think is probably Romeo Doubs.
It makes me sad.
It also makes me sad because I wish I could say he's number four. But
I will say Emmanuel Wilson's two.
I'm fine with that. Then Doubs 3?
Then Doubs is 3.
Okay, where do we go after that then is my question.
After that, I would say...
Is it like...
It's probably Dontavian Wicks.
Or Savion Williams.
Savion played 2 snaps last week.
Well, right. I know, but he also had the big-time catch.
Yeah,
but
if you're only playing 2 snaps, that tells you what the offense.
But I would argue, Gabe, he had, maybe the third or second biggest play of the game?
Yeah. But...
Big-time players make big-time plays, Gabe.
So then Bo Melton's high on this list because he played 1 snap and had a pretty big play last week?
It's a fair point.
After that... I would say
hold on, real quick, just really quick side note.
Yep.
I really like Bo Melton. I really like him as a human being.
So do I.
I'm over the experience. Let's just get rid of him.
I am as well. Well, if you're keeping him on the roster, but that's the thing. If you're keeping him on the roster for teams,
fine. Don't use him on offense is more my point. And I don't want to be in a position where they have to use him on defense.
And we still might see a play for him today offensively.
Again, big play last week.
Yeah, he might be the end around guy or something like that.
They used kind of that flip end around that worked out really well. I think that was a third down play too, maybe second down.
So I wouldn't be shocked if you saw that. Yeah, I'm over the multiples. If you have a play for him, a package for him, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when his snap count starts getting higher than Malik Heath, I think there's issues.
Bring me your higher love. Hey, it's game day. You heading to Green Bay? Are you in Green Bay or north of Green Bay? Make a quick stop at Higher Love Cannabis Company, just over the border in Menominee, Michigan, less than an hour from Green Bay. Award-winning, locally owned, organically grown, the best in the Midwest. Visit the website, findhigherlove.com. and /CBD. Find higherlove.com /CBD for more information about Higher Love Cannabis Company. We've got Gruber Law Offices One Call. We've got Island Resort and Casino Best Bets. Those are coming to you. Coming up right after this, it's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin right here on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
This season, give gifts that are always a win. Island Resort and Casino gift cards, gaming and dining, poolside fun and overnight stays. Gift cards unlock endless island adventures, like championship golf rounds on Sweetgrass and Sage Run, a blissful escape to the Drift Spa, and an unforgettable evening in the Island Showroom. To buy Island Resort and Casino gift cards, stop by the Island Club or call 877-ISL-SHOW now.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack selected varieties essential everyday purified water, 2 for $6. 9 to 13.1 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch Crunch, Ripple, or Restaurant Tortilla Chips, 2 for $5.50. 64 ounce selected varieties Ocean Spray Cranberry Juice, $2.99. 75 to 80 count or 12 ounce selected varieties Lysol Disinfecting Wipes or Spray, $4.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
Your path to a degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Lakeland University, you can personalize every part of your college experience. With a main campus in Sheboygan, evening classes across the state, and flexible online options, you choose how and when you learn. Just graduated high school, changing careers, juggling work and life, they've got options for you. You can even earn credit for experience you already have or for the work you're doing now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Score the top gifts for the Brewers fan in your life this holiday season. Set them up for an epic 2026 season with the all-new Brewers Holiday Bundle featuring 4 ticket vouchers, loaded value concession credits, and an exclusive Brewers Holiday ornament starting at just $99. Finish shopping for even the youngest Brewers fans with the 2026 Kids Crew Kit, including one-of-a-kind Brewers merch, 6 ticket vouchers, a ballpark tour, and more, all for just $35. Grab every Brewers Holiday gift today at brewers.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
It is Green Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. He is Gabe Knight, so I'm Alex Strofe, hanging out with you live at the Tundra Trio just outside of Lambeau Field. We are about 25 minutes away from kickoff. It's the 6-3-1 Packers taking on the 4-6 Minnesota Vikings at noon at Lambeau Field. Big-time NFC North matchup, and there's several of those coming up the next couple of weeks, Gabe. This, as I said before to you, I've got like the big game jitters, even though this is the worst team in the North and the worst quarterback in the North coming to Lambeau Field.
But the rest of the roster is pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty stacked.
And I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes from when you look at Justin Jefferson, right? Like, he's got a reputation of being a pretty calm guy and not being the way A.J. Brown is, which I would say is the extreme other end of the spectrum of wide receivers, of guys that are constantly complaining about targets or the offense and things like that. And I understand, I don't know if you saw, there was an out route that Justin Jefferson ran last week that was crisp.
I did see that.
The corner had no chance, and it should have been a free 12 yards. And last year, I'm sure it was a free 12 yards. And this ball went sailing 7 yards over his head. Like, had no chance. Like, just into the Vikings sideline, no chance of being completed. And so I understand where the frustration comes from. And this was always the risk for the Vikings of, okay, we gave a first-round pick to this guy. We're going to commit to him. Well, as they showed last year, by winning the number of games they did, by winning 14 games, this is a roster that's ready to compete. And if you don't get that quarterback position right, you risk losing some of those veterans and being as frustrated as they are. And hopefully, by winning today, this can start some sort of losing streak by the Vikings that when you play them again later this year, it looks like a different team because they've kind of lost some hope. And they aren't fighting as hard.
No, you're right about that. All right, time now for a couple of best bets, which I have for you. That's presented by the Island Resort and Casino. The Island Resort and Casino, a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit their website, islandresortandcasino.com, to book your total experience today. I rarely take unders in this segment.
Okay.
But I'm becoming better at this.
All right.
By realizing my shortcomings.
Well, because unders aren't fun.
No, they're not sexy.
Yeah, I mean,
but
especially when you're taking offensive, you're talking unders. No, you want to see points. You want to see offensive fireworks.
I feel good about two of them today.
Okay.
One of which is Dontavian Wicks, under 27.5 yards.
See,
you could do it in one play, by the way.
I feel, especially with Golden out, I would just stay away from that. Because I could obviously see the under hitting, but he could also just have an explosive game. He could come out and have 5 catches for 75 yards and nobody would blink.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just don't think that's today. And then the other under I like is on the Minnesota side. It's T.J. Hawkinson, under 22.5 yards. I just don't know if McCarthy gets him involved today.
I actually like that over. I feel like the Packers have struggled with tight ends.
Okay, so you disagree with both of me.
I do. I do. On the Wicks thing, it's more of a, okay, how do you feel? Are you feeling lucky? Because it's literally a flip of a coin. Yeah. With Hawkinson, I feel the Packers have the middle of the field's been open at times this year. We know that they are not going to have Quay Walker available to them today. And I think that the middle of the field could be open for T.J. Hawkinson, and that could make things a little bit easier for J.J. McCarthy. And I think that they get him involved just because Kevin O'Connell is that good.
I find it interesting. You and I probably think similar results in this game. And we'll get to that, obviously, next segment, our score predictions. But I would imagine you and I feel very similarly that this is probably like somewhere between a 6 to 10 point Packers win, I would guess, right? Somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
It sounds, though, to me, after those best bets, that you and I probably have a different idea of how this game will go in terms of game plan and production and some of the key players within this matchup.
Yeah, I think that when I look at Minnesota, again, T.J. Hawkinson hasn't been probably as involved as they would like this year, and I think that's an opportunity with the middle of the field being a little bit different for the Packers, that they've got an opportunity to try to get him involved. I think the Vikings are going to try to run the ball to see if they can have similar success. Although it just, watching the game, it felt like the Giants were running the ball really efficiently. And then
they ran it well.
Then you looked at it at the end of the game, it's like, oh, it was fine. It was under 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, but, I mean, I would say it's more about Singletary and Tracy, who both had really big games.
But they really didn't. Singletary had the touchdowns, but the yards per carry weren't that high.
Right, but there was receiving things as well. I mean, I think Tracy had like 50 receiving yards.
Yeah, sure.
And which backfield dump-offs.
Which is different. But I'm talking. But they're going to want to run the football and try to grind out the clock. The Vikings are going to try to follow a very similar game plan of shortening things up because they want to limit possessions, not just for the Packers offense, but I think they don't want to be asking their quarterback to do too much, and they do that by shortening the game and try to win that time of possession battle.
Green Bay Game Day with you, ESPN Wisconsin, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, 620 WTMJ, and on YouTube, you can watch us live at the Tundra Trio on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, at 620 WTMJ. It's time now for our one call. We are each going to make one player-related prediction for today's game, and that's brought to you by Gruber Law Offices, which has a reputation for winning. Their experienced and powerful team works tirelessly to help people and families seriously injured in accidents by providing the best care and service. There is never a fee until your case is won. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people in state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. Gabriel, Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all.
I think that Micah Parsons follows up what he did last week with a very similar stat line. I'm saying more than a sack today for him. So whether that's a sack and a half, whether he gets the 2 full sacks, but he had a sack and a half last week. And I think we're going to see that once again from him. I think that the Packers, for the first time since early this season, are going to jump out ahead. They're going to have a good game plan early. That's going to work out for them. I hope that they win the coin toss and take the ball. I think starting with the ball is going to be huge for them today. Go down, score early, force the Vikings into some situations you don't want to be in, and that's when you can unleash Micah Parsons, kind of hopefully following very similar paths that we saw the first 2 games of the season inside Lambeau Field against the Lions and Commanders.
So I was actually thinking something similarly, so I'm going to completely change mine now. I was going to go.
Why not? Stick with what
I
you're
was going to go with Van Ness. I think he has a sack.
All right.
But that's such a small call that doesn't feel right. So here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to call my shot at 2 different guys.
All right.
I'm going to give you a touchdown score. I'm going to give you somebody that gets an interception.
I mean, that's more than 2 calls, but okay.
2 calls, that's all. that's what they say at Gruber, isn't it?
I don't think so. Very famously, I don't think so.
Carrington Valentine.
All right.
Gets an interception after a couple drops last week. I feel really good about that one.
All right.
The one I don't feel great about, but I'm going to do it anyway.
All right.
Josh Wiley touchdown for the second week in a row.
Ooh, okay.
A little spicy take for you.
You have been big on Josh Wiley all day.
Josh Wiley, Chris Brooks. That's going to be the offensive game plan today. Chris Brooks, Josh Wiley.
That makes me nervous.
It should.
That makes me.
Frankly, it should.
If that's the offensive game plan, I'm very nervous.
Frankly, it should. All right, we will wrap up the show coming up next as we give you our game predictions ahead of Packers-Vikings here at Lambeau Field, a noon kickoff. And a reminder, Green Bay Game Night coming up right after the game, right as soon as that final whistle blows. You can tune into these very stations and hear Homer, Gary Ellerson, Mark Tauscher, Jason Wilde break down whatever happens in that game today. Gabe and I back to wrap it up with you right after this. It's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Game day in Green Bay means friends, food, football, and fun. But first, make sure your ride looks the part. Whether you're rolling up to the tailgate, headed to the watch party, or just cruising around town, a clean car sets the tone for victory. At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you'll get a fast, premium shine every time. Plus free vacuums and detailing tools keep things looking spotless inside and out. With 13 locations and growing across Wisconsin, it's easy to swing through your way to the action. Kick off game day the right way. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Goldsmiths are essential to running a jewelry store, but they're extremely hard to find.
Goldsmiths can repair jewelry, set diamonds, resize rings, and create beautiful, one-of-a-kind pieces of custom jewelry.
Most jewelry stores do not have an in-house goldsmith.
But Kessler's has 18 wonderful goldsmiths working in our 9 Kessler stores.
The average Kessler's goldsmith has more than 15 years of full-time experience.
And that's not counting all the apprentice goldsmiths and jewelry designers.
Our goldsmiths repair a lot of jewelry that we did not sell.
Bring us your broken jewelry and we'll bring it back to life.
When you see a woman with an extremely attractive, very distinctive engagement ring,
you can safely assume that it's a custom-designed, one-of-a-kind ring made by the goldsmiths at Kessler's.
When your relationship is special, you need a special engagement ring.
if you want something that's breathtakingly one of a kind,
come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, your back, or your shoulders. It's time with family and friends. But in 2026, that all could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee believe relief doesn't just come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers that long-term relief that you're finally looking for. Make the new year your turning point where pain stops defining you. It's time to take that first step. Literally, time to walk, enjoy the holidays, live without pain, and live without hesitation. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. Schedule your free consultation today at QC Kinetics. Give them a call at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Sometimes the best escape is the one you can take every day right at home. Hey, it's Jen Latta. Between covering football games, traveling, and chasing my kids around, my schedule can get pretty hectic. That's why my infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas has become my go-to for balance and recovery. The gentle, radiant heat helps me relax, sweat out stress, and recharge so I'm ready for whatever's next. You can feel the same calm and reset. Just stop by the Good Health Sauna showroom in Waukesha or visit goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Let's go. Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. He's Gabe Knight, so I'm Alex Strofe with you for just a few more minutes. Here at the Tundra Trio, inside the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio, just outside of Lambeau Field, as everybody seemingly has found their way into the stadium. The parking lot is emptying out pretty fast.
This is a pretty early arriving crowd in terms of getting inside the stadium. Obviously, the atmosphere outside the stadium is pretty consistent each and every week, but I still feel that even when we're, 15 minutes away from kickoff?
Indeed.
There's still a pretty steady stream of people. Just a couple of scragglers just kind of making their way into the stadium. I think it's going to be pretty packed inside Lambeau for that noon kickoff.
And wisely, most of those stragglers are drinking or have a beverage of some sort in their hand.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's you got to keep yourself warm somehow on the way in.
If you attend a Packers game, which you don't often do because you obviously have other things to do on Sundays professionally, but if you were to go to the game and you didn't have this show, how many beers are you drinking before you go in the stadium?
Depends. Am I driving home or am I not driving? If I'm not driving home, not a ton still. Just because, I don't want to be wobbly as I'm standing there for the game, right? I don't want to be just kind of sitting there, weaving back and forth. I mean, you want to get a good little buzz going.
I don't want to be wobbly.
I don't want to be sloppy when I'm inside Lambeau. Because again, like you said, it's not something that I do very often.
It's not. You're right. Oh,
so I don't.
You're a dork. I love it. All right, let's get to Packers-Vikings here, about 10 minutes away from kickoff between these two teams. The Packers are 6-point favorites in this one, despite being without Josh Jacobs, Quay Walker, and Matthew Golden, the three guys.
Golden's still a little surprising.
Agreed, but it seems like you re-aggravated something. The other one that it's not surprising because we kind of knew this all week, but it's interesting is the Quay Walker injury that we haven't talked a lot about.
Well, and to me, it's more interesting of what his future potentially looks like. And he told Jason earlier this season that there was a contract offer on the table.
Yep.
Now, the only reason he wouldn't sign that contract offer to me is he feels it was too low.
Yep.
And I'm guessing nothing gets done before the offseason at this point. But if this defense is able to go out and they have some, like if Tyron Hopper gets some opportunities today and he looks okay, does that impact the future of Quay Walker? That's what I'm more interested in.
You know the answer to that question.
Oh, the answer to that question is absolutely. And that's what I'm curious to see. And if the middle linebackers kind of fall apart, and Isaiah McDuffie just looks a half step too slow, and okay, he's still a solid guy, but not the guy we want to be relying upon.
Yeah.
That could do a lot for Quay Walker in his negotiations to stick around in Green Bay. But if the defense looks really good today without him, I'm just kind of curious on how that all plays out for him. Because
I think that's a good point by you.
It's been a sub-storyline throughout the course of the entire season.
A sub-storyline.
Yeah, because it's kind of flown under the radar.
Yeah, it's not a massive story, but it's one that's interesting and worth keeping an eye on. And
in losing your green dot, if Quay Walker's not back next year, again, not a big deal, but it's a little bit of a transition because he's the one who calls the defense. He's the one who has the green dot.
Who does that today? Is that Edgerrin Cooper or is that Xavier McKinney?
I'm assuming Isaiah McDuffie.
Oh, sure. That would make sense, actually. You're right.
I think they just keep it there. I mean, maybe if Quay Walker leaves this offseason, maybe they have a larger conversation about that, and it goes to Xavier McKinney next year.
You're probably right. It's just McDuffie. It's as simple as that.
That would be my guess.
That is a good point by you. I'm intrigued to see how he plays. It'll be good to see Tyron Hopper get some defensive snaps. He hasn't played a ton this year, as you mentioned.
Or last year.
Well, definitely not last year, but I thought this year there'd be more opportunity for him. But
McDuffie's kind of taking those snaps.
Yeah, but with Eric Wilson leaving, I thought, maybe that opens, 10 snaps a game or 8 snaps a game, sure. And Hopper really hasn't gotten that much opportunity, so I think today is a big-time opportunity for him to see if he can play his way into some more snaps, because that's a guy they're excited about. They like what they've seen on Tyron Hopper, but like I said, he just hasn't played a ton of defensive snaps this season. Elsewhere on the defense, Lucas Van Ness is back for the Packers. Imagine he won't play a ton, but you will see some plays, I would imagine, where Micah Parsons, Lucas Van Ness, and Rashan Gary are all on the field together.
And I'm hoping that continues to open up Rashan Gary, because it seemed like he has had his most success when all three of those guys have been healthy and available on the field.
And maybe that explains some
which is an indictment against Rashan Gary again. But
yeah, it is. It is.
But as long as he's on the team, and as long as he's getting 50% of the snaps or whatever it's going to be, you're hoping he can find ways to be productive and be a contributing member of the defense.
I'm witnessing a man running in our backyard here at the Tundra Trail with a Daniel Whelan jersey on.
Yep.
Huh.
Big punter, big punting guy. You could argue. Did you watch the Rams Seahawks last week?
I did.
You could argue that the Rams punter won that game.
You're right.
Because he had one of the best coffin corner punts I've ever seen in an NFL game.
Yeah, it was amazing. Brad Nortman was very excited about that.
Yeah.
As you can imagine. But speaking of Brad Nortman, I work with a punter every day, and I don't even own a punter jersey. I don't even own his jersey.
Yeah, but if he gave you one, I bet you'd wear it.
If he gave me one,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so maybe he knows Daniel Whelan. He was just gifted a Daniel Whelan jersey.
No, that's clearly a knockoff. You can tell by the numbers.
Yeah,
so he spent
it's the numbers and it's the thing
on
the sleeve.
Yeah.
The stripes on the sleeve are the
So he only spent like $30 on it, but it's still a Daniel Whelan jersey, which is crazy to me. All right, we got 2 minutes left, Gabe. Final thoughts, Packers, Vikings coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Again, big.
Oh boy.
Well, but it's such a big stretch of the season now.
Yeah.
These next 3 games are really going to tell us everything we want, and they're going to happen so fast because you have this, and then you have Thanksgiving, and then you've got a little bit of a break before you get to that Bears game. But we're going to have an idea going to that Bears game pretty quick, right? So it starts today. You have to come out. And we know this team is capable of getting out to those fast starts. We saw it the first 2 games inside Lambeau Field. I think that's something that they need today, where it just feels like they're not constantly playing catch-up, where they're able to get out, throw the first punch, and just stay ahead. Keep the Vikings at arm's length. Don't let any sort of trick play or weird thing, wonky thing kind of determine what happens in this game. Kind of like it did last week. The wonky thing being you dropped 4 interceptions. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of a strange way for that game to go. So I really want this team, and I feel like we've been saying a lot here, especially at home. I think we want to see this team just absolutely get out to a fast start. Easier said than done, But I think that's what we're looking for today is get off to that fast start where you're feeling good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. We've talked about it several times. This year, it feels like the Packers don't need the fast start to win games like they did a year ago. But today, I think it would be incredibly beneficial. And on top of that, just make this guy throw interceptions. J.J. McCarthy is known to turn over the football. Make him turn over the football and win this game.
It is big. It is worth noting that they get their starting center back today, who has been on IR. He was activated earlier this week. That's a big thing for their offensive line. When you're talking about trying to get pressure, before, though, when they had their backup center in, you're thinking, oh, okay, Micah Parsons, the way they like to line him up on the inside, maybe he can create some of that pressure. Maybe he still can, because your center is a little bit rusty after missing the last 4 games being on IR. But that's certainly worth something to keep an eye on in terms of the Packers trying to get pressure.
Packers-Vikings coming up in just a couple of minutes right here at Lambeau Field. That will do it for us today. A reminder that Green Bay game night coming up immediately following the game tonight. It's Homer, Mark Tosh of the Packers Hall of Famer, Gary Ellerson, Jason Wilde, taking your phone calls on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776, and your reactions to Packers-Vikings. It's a quick turnaround game. We'll talk to you in just 4 days on Green Bay game day as we wake up Thanksgiving morning and get to do this thing all over again.
Hopefully it is a happy Thanksgiving after a Packers win. We're talking about them building momentum in the division.
Yeah, we certainly hope so, and a good opportunity to do that here today as the Packers play host to the Vikings. A big thanks to Will Summers for running the show for us, as always, and a big thanks to Jason Wilde, Rob Domofsky, Brian Bulaga, and Steve Scafidi, who joined us throughout the program. This has been Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. Or you could also try the new Holiday Stick Sampler Pack featuring Winter Wonderland, Mary Berry, Gingerbread, and Santa's Cinnaberry. It's stick size and a great way to try all the favorite